I just have to turn on the light.
Subscribe today, Tommy, if you love movies.
Hey, look at boobies! I like movies. Hey, Cinema Gulp, where are ya? Help!
Hey, take it easy.
But I lost Cinema Gulp.
Stay calm. Just go to YouTube to subscribe and hit the bell for all the latest videos.
Hey, we're Cinema Gulp, and we drink your cinema.
Thanks, Joe. Now I can subscribe.
And subscribing is half the battle.
That's what I'm talking. Do it up again! You know what? You don't have an answer for that, do you? F you, man. I'm sorry.
I like beer. It makes me a jolly good fellow.
Hey, remember when?
Is this thing up?
It's showtime.
Hello there. Good to see you guys again.
You too.
In a couple
Missed
weeks.
everybody.
And Scotty, I heard you about the Predator thing. You were fine. You were fine.
What? You crazy?
Welcome to Cinema Gulp here on the tubes. This is Triple H HumpDay Happy Hour. I'm Ben, joined as always by the Ayatollah Flat Coca-Cola, the James Cromwell of microwave sushi, Scotty R37. And of course, the bold and the beautiful Princess of Darkness. It's Joanne Del Virus. Hello. We bow. We bow. What are you guys having?
Ooh, that looks
PBR.
cool.
Okay, PBR. We'll skip Scotty.
Yeah, skip Scotty. What is that though? That's a pretty color.
Oh, it's just the glass is a
Oh, okay.
glass. It's a blown glass blue bullshit. It's just
Nice.
it's just Absolute and lime.
No, that's very good. Very good.
What about yourself?
I just have some kombucha here, to be honest with you. So very low alcohol, but still good.
Fine. Hey, DJ Play Nice. Thanks for being here.
What's
Appreciate
going
you
on,
being here.
DJ? Good to see you.
We haven't been on in a couple weeks, so I'm not entirely sure what the audience will be like, but we hope people will join in as we go. We've got a fun topic of discussion today. Bobek is going to join us in a little bit, followed possibly by John. He's always a maybe. He'll just pop on, and then when I let him on, he'll say, wait, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And then we'll give him a few minutes. But yeah, basically, I'm going to skip box office this week because there's just nothing to talk about. I'd rather talk a little bit about some Oscar nominations because I started out not giving two wet farts about this Oscar season. And then all this controversy started with performances being enhanced by AI and this crazy trans chick who's screaming at everybody. And everybody wants to dump her from the Oscars. So there's a little bit of things to talk about. Maybe you could do a little, recasting as far as like, men, if they do dump these two people, which I don't think they can now, but if they did, who else would have been better in those slots? So we can talk about that briefly, but we're really going to talk about our favorite actors and actresses of the past 30 years. It could be performances. It could be your favorite, action stars. It could be your favorite comedians. Doesn't matter. Obviously, it could be dramatic stuff, super sad stuff. And DJ Planas says, Elvirus.
Hey.
He also says, hey, Jill, even though I think Jill is gone, but she hears you in spirit. And then hashtag listening. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Well,
Jill is like a Christmas tree air freshener. She just hangs from the rearview mirror and makes the place pleasant.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a compliment.
Oh no, it sounds like it was. Yeah, for sure.
I like it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, I want to start with some of your stuff, Scotty, and then we'll move on to some Oscar nominations, and then we'll get to the main topic. Basically, buying time until Bobek gets here because I know he wants to talk about the main topic. Are you ready, sir?
Ready, Freddy.
You will have an ice cream headache.
All right. Take it away.
Well, I don't know if I had an opportunity to discuss this last time with Joanne, but it's something that has been in the cards for a while. And did I tell you I got this?
Ooh.
Yes, you saw. Yep, I knew what you were gonna say.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I'm the one who told you to see it.
No, I know. That's why it's funny. And so anyway, this is amazing. This is really, really good. I'm a Godzilla fan to begin with, and I was just actually I was impressed incredibly. And as far as I'm concerned, based on this and also Shin Godzilla, I'm going to say that the only time I'm ever going to watch a Godzilla movie is if it's got subtitles and not closed captioning.
Right.
Godzilla -1 is the best Godzilla movie ever made. And
it's hand in hand with Shin Godzilla.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that one. I heard it's really good. Yeah.
It is also, but this is really good as well. And also, it's like one of those things where people say, oh, do you want a new James Bond movie that takes place in the 1960s? It's like, well, yeah, no, that'd be kind of cool. But this is again, it takes place just after World War II, and it does sort of reincorporate the thematic essence of Godzilla. The first one being sort of a reaction to the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And this also plays into that in terms of Western intervention being the downside of everything.
And a brilliant and haunting way too.
Yes.
You know, very sad. It's a very serious movie. You know, it's kind of the first Godzilla movie that's not just sort of goofy, you know?
Well, and not only that, but like a lot of the times people complain and it's like, why are there people in my giant lizard movie? And it's like, this is one of those instances where the people actually accentuate and highlight the drama of it instead of it just being King Kong with a power glove.
Yeah,
so,
this one feels more like the Jaws effect. I mean, there's even an homage to Jaws in one of the coolest scenes in the movie. But yeah, the less is more, and it helps with the anticipation of the beast. It helps with when you see it, it's exciting and horrifying and amazing. It's scary. It's like first time you're really scared of Godzilla, you know?
Well, and it is one of those like. And they beat Godzilla at the end. And so it's not even, and there's a little bit of sequel bait, but
do they? Yeah.
But it's still, it is still a situation where they're like, oh yeah, no, we beat Godzilla. And it's great.
And a really crafty plan too, you know, not guys in lab coats and offices, but a bunch of scrappy soldiers and pilots. It's awesome.
Yeah. If you've ever seen Cloverfield, it is 17 times better than that.
Yeah.
I do like Cloverfield though too.
Yeah, well, then I accept your apology. But the next one, Ben, you are the gentleman who introduced me into how much I absolutely love Albert Finney, and I got an Albert Finney movie.
Yay! Oh yeah,
with the dad of Warbucks. This is a movie. It was on my radar recently because of Tim Curry and again Albert Finney. And what's the name of the lady?
Carol Burnett.
That's her.
Her singing "Little Girls Drunk" with that bottle in her hand is just fucking great.
And
so great.
And I'm not just getting this because I'm a weird middle-aged man, but like I have nieces So these are the kinds of movies that I grew up on, and I didn't really care for them at the time because this is like my sister's jam. And I got this, or she taped it off of the movie network or something, and I was like, this is a girl's movie. And now that I've actually grown a little bit of sentiment, it's kind of touching. And the young woman who plays the little girl, the Anne Reinking, I guess. She is so charming in this.
Yeah.
So I looked her up and I was like, when can I find you when you're not a toddler? And the answer is never.
She didn't do anything else?
Not really. I think she was on a couple of episodes of CSI or something.
Do you remember Pippi Longstocking?
Oh yeah.
I do.
That chick from the movie turned out to be a complete smoke show. Oh dear God. I mean, her figure, she's got curves in all the right places. She's a redhead. Sorry.
Stop sexualizing Pippi Longstocking.
I'll calm down.
Get off my case, motherfucker!
Anyway, then I got Treasure Planet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good. Totally bombed. It officially sunk the Disney animated division because it bombed so good.
But I liked it.
Yeah, no, I watched it and I was like, this is actually pretty good. But the
animation is amazing.
Yeah. The animation is good, and it's a hybrid of hand-drawn cell animation with also some CGI. But like, I was watching it, and I was like, "Haven't I seen this before?" And I went through my shelving, and I was like, "Oh no, that's Titan AE that you saw."
Oh yeah,
yeah. Some people get Titan AE, Treasure Planet, and Atlantis confused a lot because they all came around the same time. Yeah,
you know what, and that's funny that you bring up Atlantis. I thought Treasure Planet was Atlantis. Hey, what's going on, yo?
Woo-hoo.
What's up, yo?
What's up?
Yep. Pushing 10.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the theater when it came out. Yeah,
this is in the heyday of John Cusack, and also, aside from Pushing 10, Billy Bob Thornton was also in Angelina Jolie at the time.
Yes, he was.
And so it's very interesting.
She's in the movie.
It is something. It's kind of like when I watch Eyes Wide Shut, and I'm like, oh, look at this. It's a movie about a relationship between Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Oh wait, they're divorcing, much like in the film. And so this is really great. Also,
I always thought I wouldn't like a movie about air traffic controllers, and when I saw the movie, I was proven right.
Oh, really? You didn't like it?
Yeah, it's kind of boring, but I mean, look, you got John Cusack coming off of Con Air. He must have had a boner for planes that couple of years.
It even says on the back, in the tradition of Gross Point Blank, and it's like, tradition? That was last year.
There's nothing to do with Gross Point Blank, but all right.
Yeah. Minnie Driver isn't even in this. Now, Elvira.
Lily. We got to do our Lily. Hi.
Hey, Lily.
Hi, girlfriend.
Hey.
Hi, girlfriend. Oh, look at that smile. She's smiling. She's smiling.
Does she like this guy? This guy's from Treasure Planet that Scotty was just showing. Yay!
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, okay, that's why you brought that up.
Yeah. There was a reason.
Nice.
There was method. There was method to the madness. Now I don't know. Did I show you guys Back to the Beach yet?
No. With Pee Wee.
With Pee Wee. Well, you know what? F Pee Wee, not literally, but it's got Gilligan.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. Also, when I go to places and people say, Scott, are you a heterosexual? I say, I don't know. I've seen Birds of Prey. This is the Batman show.
Oh, the show. Yeah. Yeah.
This is so good. Mainly, it was only $15, so I didn't break a bank. But it's got Mia Sara. That's right.
Yeah.
Sloane from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Well, it also has Dina Meyer from Starship Troopers.
Yes, she plays
Hey,
Barbara
girly.
Gordon.
Hi, beautiful. Oh, you look like you're super relaxed and happy. Daddy looks like he's taking you on a roller coaster right now, though. Hi.
That's funny.
So
What else you got, Scotty?
I'm a big fan of Catherine Brewster from Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines.
Catherine Brewster. Yeah, I like Shop Girl a lot. I really like the script. It feels like it's one of those movies that feels like real people having real conversations with real consequences and feelings and interactions and reactions. Shop Girl's great. Yeah.
I was amazed by the quirk and how restrained it is.
Yeah.
This is a Steve Martin post Wild and Crazy guy.
I think he wrote it.
Yeah, he did. He wrote the
Yeah,
novella.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then the screenplay as well. But yeah, no, I like this because again, I'm a Claire Danes fan, and this is my so-called movie.
You get to see some Claire Danes booty in that movie.
Can't say no to that.
I think that's the only time in any movie she's ever made where you see Claire Danes booty. So I don't know why it took so long to say that.
No, I love it when you say
Take
booty.
a deep breath.
Do it one more
Claire
time.
Danes booty.
Yes. And then sometimes other people's garbage is another man's treasure. My dad had placed this on the staircase and said, "I don't want this at all. Get it out of my house." And I was like, "I'll rescue that."
Oh, I love it. That's a great movie.
I love that movie.
Bobak, you gotta have seen that one.
Oh, of course.
I saw it in passing, but I would need to go back and really.
It's a movie like you would have so much to talk about that movie. Like it's just deep and thought. It's so interesting.
Yeah, my mom was raving on it, and like I like those movies where it's sort of like the same characters that you can see going through different storylines, but they got a lot of parallel plot points, amongst every incarnation. I'm actually going to be coming back to a movie that's similar structure later on. No spoilers.
I see what you're doing, Scotty. It looks good.
I like it.
I just noticed that. Yeah, pretty cool. And then I'm sure someone will have a fun time screen capturing that.
I can't wait. I hope. I can't wait. But last but not least, I was at the thrift store and this cost $1 and I saw this. What a lovely spine that is. And I was like, what the hell movie is that?
Oh,
yay. Awesome.
Now, again,
like
this was
design.
$1. And this is like the third time I've purchased this movie. I bought it once on DVD, once on Blu-ray, and now this time because of the packages. I love the liner notes. I love the disc design.
Is so cool.
That is
the whole
really
thing.
nice.
The film canister reel. Oh, that's really cool.
Very cool. Very cool. I used to play the video game on Commodore.
It's got like liner notes that do things
Very
and
nice.
stuff.
I
But
love
this
that.
is the best
That's
part.
a great one.
This is the best part. No, Joanne, this is the best part.
What is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Autographed. Beautiful.
It's like autographed.
Wait, lift that up a little bit more. Lift the Jessica Rabbit one up a little bit. There you go. There you go.
That's awesome.
Kathleen Turner, Chandler's mom.
3 packs a day, Turner.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, and I watched this, and it was so funny because I was watching it, and I was like, Scott, you have the Blu-ray. Why don't you watch the better version? And I was like, because I want to watch this one.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's just a collector's item. The box and everything.
Yeah. So I was really, really happy with this. I was very,
Did you
very
know
excited.
that existed before you?
I didn't even know. And I think that there's a slipcase that should go over top of this, but the entire reason that I like it is because there was no slipcase. It was almost like the opening jazzy soundtrack of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and here's the file.
It looks like a private investigator's briefcase.
Yeah.
Couple wads, a couple stacks of $100 bills and a little pistol and a magnifying glass or whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, what else you got?
That's it. That's all. You will have an ice cream headache.
That's I think that's one of my favorite gatherings of DVDs that you've had since you've done this segment. Like that's it. Birds of Prey, like Treasure Planet, Roger Rabbit. Yeah, really cool. Annie. Well done, sir. Well done. Well, anyway, properly welcome Bobek, co-host of the House of the Dragon recap show we do here on YouTube. So, Bobek, apparently the Dunk and Egg show premiered. They've taken the dates off the release schedule, so we don't know when it's coming out now. It was going to be May, but now they're saying like next fall. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's done. I don't know why. So I don't know when we're going to do that show, but.
All good. I'm looking forward to it. We got plenty to look forward to.
Yeah, we'll do it when we do it.
Yeah.
All right.
There's something funny with HBO's. I don't know what's going on. Like, it's not just that show, but I don't know if any of you guys have been watching the Dune like prequel show that they've had, and it's it's all right. I give it a B, but like they just sort of like stopped releasing new episodes. And I was like, wait, was the last one the season finale or something? Like, should I go back? Because they normally will tell you season finale, like in the description or something, So I don't know what's going on with their production. I don't know if it's a general HBO thing or not. I haven't looked into it. But hopefully we'll get some new content soon. Yeah.
I heard it was boring, but I haven't seen it.
It's, it's cool. Like they've got this thing where they have all the technology and stuff that's the same as 1,000 years in the future, which is what we've seen. And, but it's cool just if you want the content, getting the backstory and everything.
Yeah. No. It might be good. I'm not a big Dune guy anyway. I mean, even Denis Villeneuve couldn't make me love Dune. So, hey, Canadian Spider-Man, good to see you. Thanks for being
cheers,
here.
Buddy.
Which Godzilla is, cheers. Which Godzilla is one of the full fronter nudity Swedish cheerleader teams and barrels of whiskey? Is that a thing? I have no idea. I want to watch that Godzilla movie, though, whatever it is. Hey, there's John. Hey, redheads. Hey. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is obviously from when I was talking about Pippi Longstocking. Scotty, can you read that one, por favor?
Spidey says, do not let the baby read most of my comments and actually plug her ears in any way and every time Scotty talks.
Earmuffs. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, you son of a
bitch. Well, since we're not going to do box office because there's literally nothing going on, I thought it'd be interesting to just, briefly go over a list which is consists of probably 90% movies we've never seen and most people have never heard of. But that's fine.
Okay.
So this is the list of the 2025. Trust me, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it.
Yeah,
the only reason I thought to bring it up is because we're talking actors and actresses. So I'm not going to go through like the nitty gritty of the nominees. I just thought specifically the first one on the list. So best leading actor, Adrian Brody. So he's the first one where his controversy is that AI gave him the accent that he uses in the movie. To me, that should eliminate you immediately, no matter how much I like Adrian Brody, because you could say, well, his acting was still great. His acting performance was changed because of DI or DI because of AI. He should be eliminated immediately. It's cheating. It's fine to make the movie that way, but you shouldn't be able to win an Oscar if technology changed anything about your performance. What do you guys?
You sound like people who didn't want us to nominate Tron because computers were cheating.
Yeah. What if your entire costume is CGI?
Yeah.
I don't know that those people
like
aren't nominated.
Deadpool. But
those people aren't nominated.
They're not. Ryan Reynolds.
No. What was he nominated for?
I'm asking. I don't follow any of this. But okay. Everything is like acting. Everything is augmented somehow. They got costume. They got makeup. Where do you draw the line?
this is where you draw the line when AI changes the lip movement and changes the speech pattern of the fucking actor. That's where you draw the line, because it's enhancing their performance by giving them a perfect accent for the language, for the dialect that they're speaking. I just don't think that's right. Yeah, of course you should be able to make that movie and special effects enhanced movies, and you should be able to make all the money. But when it comes to your performance, having a convincing accent should be part of that performance, not enhanced by AI. That's the whole point of award shows, is you should be the best at all aspects of that acting performance.
So maybe nominate whoever did the AI auto-tune. You know, like
they should get the auto-tune. Yeah, I don't know if it's auto-tune, but
AI auto-tune.
Well, that's where I stand with it. I love Adrian Brody. I don't think he needed AI to enhance his. He probably could have pulled it off. The fact that they did that should take him out of contention, in my opinion. But that's just me. And I don't really give a shit about award shows anyway, so I don't know why I'm getting so hyped up about this.
Well, no, it's funny. It's funny just because Adrian Brody, and I heard a comedian recently say that, and I don't want to say the word because I know it's a demonetizable word, but it's like, every time that Adrian Brody accepts an award, he should thank the 20th century atrocity that happened in Germany. It's like, you made my career. Thanks.
Pretty much. The pianist, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you're right. That's funny. I mean, it's funny in light.
No, yeah. The implication is funny. The death of several million people is not.
Right. I thought every time he wins an award, he should have Halle Berry on stage and he just gives her the tongue, like he did when he won the Oscar. Imagine doing that shit nowadays. You just like grab the presenter and just started making out with her at the Oscars.
Well, when you're winning an Oscar, you can just grab them. They let you do it.
You can grab them by the pussy if you want.
Yeah. Well, the Catwoman.
Hey, you know what? That kind of fit perfectly into that. Yeah. Timothy Chalamet, I have no problems with. That's fine.
I don't like him. Stupid twink.
He is a twink, isn't he?
This other guy I've never heard of, Coleman Domingo. I heard Sing Sing is great. I just haven't seen it in any I haven't seen it playing. Ray Fiennes, give him all the Oscars every time he's in anything. He's one of the best actors. He'll be on the list. Sebastian Stan, I'm kind of rooting for this guy because like he's like a Marvel guy. He's done some good like indie stuff. He's the Winter Soldier, and he like supposedly is amazing in this movie. And I'm like, you know what? That'd be fucking awesome if the Winter Soldier. He should go up and accept it with the big steel arm and in a face mask.
Well, it's funny because Sebastian Stan plays Donald Trump in The Apprentice. I would like to see him fight Dennis Quaid, who was in Reagan.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And they did like an arm wrestle or a Jack Palance one-handed push-up or something.
And then I guess the only other big, we'll go supporting actor. I'm always rooting for Edward Norton anytime he's up. I think he's kind of the front runner this year, him and Kieran Culkin, who I love a lot. He's fantastic and everything. Yuro Borisov, I hear he's great as the Russian. I hear he's really good in that.
He was, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
You guys saw Nora?
I haven't seen it, but everyone's like, that's the one movie, Ben, that you'll regret that you waited so long to see it. Yeah, I've heard it's incredible.
You liked it,
I love Mike Madsen, so Jeremy Strong, I can't stand that guy. I don't know. He just has a punchable face. Guy Pearce, I root for him every day of the week, all day, every day. I love Gary. He's one of the best Australian actors of our generation for sure. So actress, this is where it gets weird. Okay, Cynthia Erivo, she's brilliant. She's a weirdo in real life, but she's a brilliant actress and singer. I'd be totally cool if she won. I'm rooting for Demi Moore, though I wouldn't be sad if Mikey Madison won because she's great, but she's so young. She's got a full career. This is Demi Moore's only chance right here. This is it.
This is her. This is her. Who is the lady? This is her Sharon Stone moment.
One of the ballsiest performances I've seen maybe in my entire life. She's absolutely incredible in it. She deserves to win it. And I think she might, because this person here, Carla Sofia Gascon, from Amelia Perez, is a total psychopath in real life. And
But that's a different guy.
Is a racist, sexist, bigot, weirdo.
What?
Everyone's dropped this person. Netflix has dropped her. No one's giving her any money to campaign or to travel for press.
So is she going to play Kang the Conqueror in the new Marvel movie?
She's just a very angry person.
Yeah.
And there's no, like, it's too late for them to kick her out, but there's no way she fucking wins. Zero chance. Negative 100%. What's that?
Fernanda Torres?
No, Carla Sofia Gascon.
Oh, that's right. She's the one that...
she's the transsexual.
Yeah.
Person.
And that means that she has to be liberal, but she's actually like a conservative prick.
She's the transgender Gina Carano.
She's trying to play both sides, except she says all the wrong things because somebody didn't tell her, just shut the fuck up on Twitter.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Everyone's rooting for you in Hollywood as is. Just don't screw it up.
All you got to do is not suck.
Yeah.
Didn't she say some anti-Semitic stuff too?
Oh God, you name it, she said it.
Yeah,
but
an
Oscar.
Things about black people, things about Jewish people, things about Middle Eastern people, things about gay people, things about her own community. Like her own community hates her, and they hate this movie. So.
That example, she's setting a terrible example for trans and LGBT.
Indeed, yeah.
I think it's flabbergasting because I hadn't heard about Amelia Perez or whatever the movie's called.
Nobody had until the Golden Globes,
until it got nominated for like all the Oscars.
Yes,
and I was like,
exactly.
Nobody. I never heard of it in my life, and I keep. My attention is always on the trades, like what's going on. I had never fucking heard of it, and then all of a sudden I'm watching the Golden Globes, and fucking Gamora's up there winning a Golden Globe, and I'm like, oh, nice, because I love Gamora. And she had a beautiful speech, and I'm sure she's great in the movie. I'm actually rooting for her to win, even though she probably won't now because this movie's tainted. They're probably not going to give that movie a goddamn thing. I just hope Ariana Grande doesn't win because she's annoying.
Did a good job in Wicked, though.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Felicity Jones, I love Felicity Jones. I got to go for Isabella Rossellini, though, like as a lifetime achievement award.
Yes, that was so good.
Yeah, man. I mean, I didn't see it. I didn't see Conclave, but
I did. Yeah, it's very good.
Just give it to her because Blue Velvet.
But again, it seems like a legacy nomination, which is great. Like, I'm glad that Isabella Rossellini is nominated, and I would adore it if she won. But it's more about the celebrity than it is the actual work, I guess.
Well, I don't know. Joanne, is her performance worthy of a win? You think?
Yeah, honestly, everyone in that film was amazing. I thought it was great. So I think it's a good nomination.
Okay.
It's about the Catholic Church, though, right?
Yeah.
So does God get a nomination?
Sure.
Okay. He won't be there to receive his award. Or Alanis Morissette will accept it on his behalf.
Alanis Morissette, yeah. Or George Burns.
George Burns may be there, yes.
So I just wanted to go over the acting ones. We don't need to dissect the fucking Oscars. It gets tedious and boring at that point. But needless to say, I'm not very interested. I'm doing what I do for most Super Bowls. I'm not rooting for someone. I'm rooting against someone. Like this year, I don't care who wins, but I'm kind of rooting for the Eagles because I'm rooting against Kansas City. I'm rooting against the chick that the mean crazy chick.
Yeah. The only reason I'm remotely interested in the Oscars this year is because Conan O'Brien. That is why I'm gonna. He's hosting, and that is what's gonna draw me to it because he is one of the best entertainers of my generation.
Yeah,
I think
100%. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, I love Conan. Yeah, he knows he's so pro. He's so prolific. Like he'll know how to he'll know how to dig in, but just be so charming at the same time.
Yeah,
you know? He has
absolutely.
a gullible lovability about him that he gets away with anything he says.
He does, and he always makes it seem like the other person is funnier than they are. You know, just
Yeah,
like the way
that's a good host. Yeah,
Yeah, he's great.
He's feeding like the interviewee to, you know, he's setting them up. He's
Right.
setting them up for a spike.
Yeah, he's.
John,
Ooh, wait.
Write in the comments or text me if you're going to come on, because we're gonna, as soon as Scotty gets his point, we're going to start on our lists. So if you want to be involved, sir, we'd love to have you from the beginning. What were you going to say, Scotty? Sorry.
What if the Oscars has Triumph the Insult Comic Dog?
Oh, I love
Oh my
that.
God, I would throw a party for it and watch every second of it.
Who won the award last night? I don't know. Did you see Triumph?
That was the best performance of the year for me.
For me to poop on.
That's a great idea. If they don't do that, yeah.
What's his name?
Robert Smigel.
Robert Smigel. God, when he used to go on Howard Stern, he would throw away his entire appearance on the show just to sit behind the couch and be Triumph the Insult Comic Time, and you would never see his face.
So welcome to the Robert Smigel Show. But have you ever seen Punch Drunk Love?
Okay, John,
Adam
no worries,
Sandler?
brother.
One of my favorite jokes in all of cinema is Adam Sandler he's just busted up the living room, and he goes in and he's talking to one of his sister's husbands, and he's like, you know, sometimes I cry and I don't know what I'm doing, and I have these feelings, and so I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for a doctor. And Robert Smigel is the guy who's like, but Barry, I'm an orthodontist. Anyway, I thought it was hilarious.
My favorite scene is Philip Seymour Hoffman. Shut up! Shut up! Walk off! Shut up! God, he's taking it up to 50 in that one, man. Like, he's like, you know what? I love being in Paul Thomas Anderson movies. I got this one part. I'm just gonna fucking knock down threes for 20 minutes.
Holy moly! Tiger Stripes is in the chat, and she says the Oscars have been so unbearably woke the last some years. I watched last year for the first time in a long time with a bingo card. I can recommend it. Okay.
Well, the triumphant return of Will Smith to the Oscars will get people watching whenever that happens.
Well, speaking of the Oscars, you know the movie that Will Smith won the Oscar for? King
it was
Richard.
like the Williams sisters movie.
Yeah,
right?
I watched that last night.
Did
and
he
I
deserve
was
it?
like, yeah.
Okay.
But the entire time I was sitting there and I was like, I'm so angry at you because this is good. It was something where it was like, this would have been a crowning achievement, Mr. Smith, if only you hadn't slapped Chris Rock.
Wow.
Yeah. You see it in his face when he's like, when he's up there accepting, he's just shaking his head. He's like, what the fuck did I do? Like, this is the
about family.
Crowning moment of my life. And everyone's looking at me like, who am I going to kick? Am I going to knock over the podium?
Yeah.
People?
It was, yeah. But it was something that like it held over me like a black cloud. And I was just like, this is good. But remember what you did? Oh, this is a good scene. This is a good performance. But remember?
Lemon. Hey, Lemon Pie.
Hey.
Lemon.
Thanks for being here. Just in time too. So John said he cannot make it. So we're gonna go ahead and start. So main topic of the night. And I'm gonna let Bobette go first on this one. And well, actually, you know what? You showed up late, so I'm gonna let Joanne go.
Okay, sounds good.
I gotta keep with the tradition. That's the tradition. First one to show up goes first, and then we'll go in that order. But you know, Bobette kind of came in sort of late on it, so I don't know how much time he had to like do his research or whatever. But there's no structure like normal. Like I said, you can talk about your favorite action stars, your favorite comedians in movies, your favorite performances. Obviously actresses, actors, whatever. You can have as many as you want. You can just list some off and not even talk about them, or you could talk about them. It's very simple, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Cool.
There must be consequences for tardiness, Bob. He wasn't tardy. I just told him to come on whenever he wants, but we did kind of set this precedent where it's like the first person to show up on the stream gets to.
I'm for precedent.
Well, yeah. So I'll go with one of mine. First one that came to mind. You said of the last 30 years. This is much more recent than 30 years. But Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That really blew me away. Like, I already thought he was great, but when I saw that, and Brad Pitt was in there too, and Brad Pitt is another one of my favorites. Who mainly he's one of my favorites because he does, like, the movies that he does are always really good, in my opinion. Every movie that Brad Pitt's in is like a good movie, but Leonardo DiCaprio, like, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, just like I thought he even did better than Brad Pitt. It just blew me away. So I gained even more respect for him for that dramatic performance. Is amazing. Have you guys all seen it?
I have the novelization.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. No, I think it's so funny that like Leonardo DiCaprio is overrated and underrated at the same time. I didn't like him for a while, and then I started to think about it, and I was like, why don't I like Leonardo DiCaprio? And I started listing off all the movies he's been in, and I was like, liked it. What do I not like about Leonardo DiCaprio? And that made it, ultimately, I had to be analytical about it, and it was like, yeah, no, actually, Scott, I hate to break it to you, you like Leonardo DiCaprio.
You like him. Yeah. So, I my guess is that maybe you thought that he was overrated at first, like, just because of his looks, just like his face, the way he looked.
Beat cover boy.
Yeah. So, it's almost like it could have worked against him for certain people, because they've just thought that he was just a face. But then he kept on proving himself time and time again.
Yeah,
and
he did.
That performance was, to me, the peak. Like,
me and Jeff Brown always said he had the best agent and the best eye for material, because he always picked really good scripts and he always picked good characters. And I agree with you, Joanne. I was refilling my drink when you said Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is mine and John's favorite movie of 2019. He was my favorite performance of 2019. I thought he was just lights out. Brad Pitt winning. I'm glad Brad Pitt won an award, but I don't know if it should have been for that performance. He's just kind of cool, Brad Pitt, in that movie. He's really good in it, but
he is really good in it. But Leo
was every like actor like reaches a certain point where they have that first movie where they've tipped over into, now I'm older.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm an older actor. I'm not like suave, like Inception guy. I'm an older guy, and he's playing sort of a has-been, and his face is becoming more interesting as he gets older. It's a little scruffy, a little more like wide, and it worked for him in that movie. So, but he still has the energy of his young self,
Right.
Wes Cagle in the chat says, Leo is unlikable because in real life he's dumb as a bag of hammers and the super terrible woke arsehole. Great actor otherwise, but terrible in real life. Also, he dates.
Sorry. Well, that's harsh, man. Wes Cagle, why don't you tell us how you really feel?
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're not getting invited to Thanksgiving.
You're on the Titanic, brother. That's a good one. What else you got, Joanne? You want to just stick with that one for now, or?
Yeah. I thought we would just go around. I'll keep on adding more and more.
Sure, Scott. Well, let's actually between people. Well, there's a lot of. Let's see. Wes Cagle also says, "Bag, not bad." Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
Figured it out.
Yeah, I can see that. Tiger Stripes, a little bit of kind of self-parody, self-caricature, but I think he's aware of that though too. Like, it's not something where he's accidentally falling into that. Say like Bruce Willis, what's his name, Liam Neeson, Nick Cage to a certain extent,
But others.
But yeah, go ahead, Scotty. What do you got?
Well, speaking of self-caricature, my number one with a bullet, and I will fight anybody who thinks otherwise, the best actor of the last 30 years, Ben, who is it?
Well, I'm not going to tell you who mine is. Oh,
No.
yours is John Hamm.
That is correct. John Hamm is, I think he could have played Superman, but I guess he's too old. He could have played Batman, but I guess he's not fit. I love John Hamm in obviously Breaking Bad. I think he was great in The Town and Richard Jewell. The man with, or not the man with the golden arm. I think it's just called The Golden Arm. It's about he plays a sports agent who goes and gets a cricket player to be part of the Major League Baseball. I love John Hamm. I think John Hamm in Bridesmaids is good. I even like him for
funny.
4 seconds at the end of The A-Team. John Hamm should be in more movies. And this is not. I'm not sponsored by John Hamm.
Dude, he has the best line in Bridesmaids where he's sitting next to Kristen Wiig in bed after they had sex, and he goes, "You know, I kind of want you to leave, but I don't know how to say it without sounding like a dick."
Well, and he did it for free. Like, that's why I am being somewhat facetious, because I have to make my John Hamm joke at least once a week. But the thing is that comedy, drama, he is a really all-around good performer. And I guess the worst part about John Hamm is that whenever I see him, I'm like, hey, John Hamm. But when I do get used to John Hamm being on screen, he falls into every character that I see him play. And he's really good at it. And so, yeah, I'm not being facetious, and yet I am being a self-parody. But yeah, I really admire John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm's awesome. He's charming.
He is.
Okay,
he's
so
hung like a piano.
The first one I'm going with, I thought was going to be the biggest actor in the world with all the Oscars. Totally beloved from the beginning his career started, for a nice, maybe 6-7 year long stretch. He got in his own way. Hard to work with, very controlling on set, and that can fuck you up. And it's Edward Norton. Listen to this run. Primal Fear gets an Oscar nomination for his first performance in any movie he's ever been in. Then goes on a run. Rounders, American History X, his second Oscar nomination, and one of my favorite performances of all time. The score outshined both De Niro and Brando in that movie. Just was more committed, more invested. Those two guys were in it for a paycheck, and he was running fucking circles around those guys. That's hard to say. 2002, The 25th Hour, my favorite Spike Lee movie. Fucking brilliant in that movie. Wasn't nominated, but should have been. Birdman, another Oscar nomination. So that's 3. And most recently, he's like the Bob Dylan manager in the Bob Dylan movie with your twink boy, Timothy Chalamet, another Oscar nomination. And I hope he wins because I love him. When you look at that stretch of like Primal Fear, Rounders, American History X, the score, you're just like, holy shit, like this guy's the best actor that's ever lived. Like he's just those are such distinct characters. Like Worm and Rounders is a skinny little runt, pain in the ass. And then American History X is a huge, bald, tattooed, buff, white supremacist. Primal Fear, he's got dual personality. He just has everything when it comes to acting. He's just apparently, at least was, hard to work with. I haven't heard, you don't hear those stories anymore, but you did back when he was really hot and in his 20s and early 30s. But
well,
yeah, Edward Norton to me is like what could have been his career. I mean, even though it's a great career still, but it could have just been like the biggest thing in the world. It could have been the next fucking, I don't know, whatever. You can take your pick, fucking Redford or something,
I agree. I had him on my list too, and I wish he did more, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's almost like the modern day Kirk Douglas kind of thing. Like he's actor, producer, writer, director. He's amazing. But like the thing that stands out, because you left out one very important role that Edward Norton did play, the Incredible Hulk. And the thing is when George Clooney accepted his Oscar, I think he said, he said something along the lines of, I am Academy Award winner George Clooney, best or sexiest man of the year, 1997, and Batman. And I feel like that's something that when Edward Norton gets his Oscar, he's not going to say something as charming as that. Because I wish he would say, like, I was once married to Salma Hayek. I am now an Academy Award winner, and I am also the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, well, and the Incredible Hulk is the most sort of like notorious story of him sort of taking over the writing, taking over the set, and then taking over the editing of that movie, which cost him probably $100 million in Marvel money, and it cost us having Edward Norton, not having Edward Norton in the fucking Avengers movie, which would have been 50 million times better than Mark Ruffalo, in my
hell yeah. Yeah, but then can you really see Ed Norton in Thor Ragnarok?
See that that's well, I think a lot of stuff would have been different if you had different people in those roles. But yeah, I could not see him in that role at all, dude.
But that's also like, that's a thing where it's like, I like Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, and I do prefer Edward Norton as the Hulk. But like, being sold out of selling out is what Mark Ruffalo is. And I don't think that Ed Norton can be sold out of selling out. Yeah, I don't think he would sell out of selling out.
Yeah. Joanne, can you read this one from Tiger Stripes?
In his later years, Cary Grant was checking in on an event guest list. The checker said, name, and he said, Cary Grant. The checker said, you're not Cary Grant. He replied, I know, no one is.
Archie Leach.
Bobek, what do you got for us? You good?
Yeah, good to go. So I've got a, incomplete list, but I'm not sure which end of it.
There is no complete list here. You're fine.
No complete list here. So I'm just going to start with, you guys already kind of mentioned Leonardo. I think he's an easy one to start with. He had me at Romeo. I mean, for me, Romeo and Juliet, the one that he was in with Claire Danes, whoever. Yeah. That is my personal favorite depiction of the Romeo and Juliet story, because number one, they kept all of the dialogue. It's Shakespeare's words. But number two, when Shakespeare was putting on his plays, he wasn't putting the costuming and the setting into some ancient thing. Julius Caesar wasn't dressed as a Roman senator, like they dressed and they acted like people from that time, from the time of Shakespeare. He was a very modern writer. And so for them to update the costuming and the setting and all of the props of Shakespeare was perfect, because that's exactly how I think it should have been done. Like they wouldn't have been walking around with ancient weapons in the original stage play. They would have had the most modern weapons. And so when you bring it to the film, when the Capulet of the Montague, whoever the mafia boss guy, reaches for his long sword, it's engraved. Yeah, but it's a gun that's engraved, long, broadsword or whatever, and so just to see the whole, it to me is so much more authentic than people who are trying to dress up with like the frilly, with all the frilly lace and all that stuff. That was so dated. But sorry, baby should already be in bed. But keeping to the, the original dialogue felt so authentic. But aside from that, I loved him from then. But he's just been in so many great films. Yeah. I love Wolf of Wall Street. Sorry to say it. Fucking love it.
I love that movie, man.
Yeah. Fucking awesome. And like he just sells it.
True great Scorsese movie.
And it's because that's the guy's lifestyle. Like he is the guy on the yacht with the models, like Leo in real life. And so like for him to be able to like play that role is not much of a stretch. But at the same time, you have more of like the dramatic roles, like Inception. Talk about a mind fuck, like always trying to figure out, is this a dream? Is this reality? what's going on and stuff, and to be able to just deliver action, but in a thoughtful way. I know it's not his movie, but just being a part of such. Sorry, I'm gonna have to mute for a second.
Not a Leonardo DiCaprio fan.
Leo had me at This Boy's Life. I love that movie. Like a 14-year-old kid going toe to toe with Robert De Niro and completely holding his own. Super good in that movie. Super good.
One of the things that I really appreciate in terms of gauging an actor's competencies is whether or not they can do comedy, whether or not they can be sort of disarming in a whimsical sort of way. Can you make me chuckle? And I don't know if, I guess the closest Leonardo has done to a comedy is something like Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, Wolf of Wall Street is basically a comedy.
Yeah, but that's also
he's
in the same way that
Carrey level shit in that when he's on the
but on the lewds and everything like that. Yeah, but that's more of like a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, overwhelmed by drug. It's not through wit; it's through a farce, or a chemically induced farce.
But it's physical comedy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I didn't find it funny. I found it tragic to see such a person who was, a misanthrope.
Such a scumbag, like what was his name?
Yeah.
Gordon Belford. Gordon Belford, was that it?
Jordan. Yeah.
Jordan Belford. Yeah. Anyway, Bobak.
Sorry about all that. Baby's going to bed now. Leo's great. Love so many of his films. I think that probably The Revenant was one of the first really believable CGI. Like the whole fight with the bear. There's no bear there.
See, there's a comedy.
Yeah, there's a comedy for you, just been a part of so many of these
Bear Rape.
Visual spectacular. Yeah, Bear Rape, you got that. But didn't he start out with Tom Cruise, or didn't he start out not with Tom Cruise, but with Johnny Depp and What's Eating Gilbert?
Well, that was What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Yeah.
Yeah, as a kid,
the year before he did This Boy's Life, which was with De Niro, and it was excellent.
Well, but this is one of those things that I have a block on it because I don't like it when actors who get huge disregard their first roles. And everyone knows that Leonardo DiCaprio was on the final season of Growing Pains.
He was, and just such a weird. It was such a strange thing. Like all those sitcoms from the early 80s, when they were ending their runs, they, for some reason, had to either have a new kid or, Anyway, topic for another time.
Here's Poochie.
So I just kind of want to throw him out there because he's, low-hanging fruit. Another one that I kind of just want to, I feel like I just have to give props to, just Tom Cruise. Talk about staying power. And I know, for me, it's hard to watch. I don't get into any of the Mission Impossibles or anything like that because it's not about Mission Impossible. It's about Tom Cruise doing stunts. It's hard to not see Tom Cruise, but he's had a few roles that really some of the stuff that I've watched over besides Top Gun, right? Movies that I watched over and over again. There was one that was a lot of fun. In addition to Eyes Wide Shut, I love that one. But he was playing really well in. Oblivion was a good one, and I'm just not remembering it right now. It was the one where he keeps dying and he keeps respawning, and the aliens.
It's called Edge of Tomorrow.
That's what it is.
And it was called Live Die Repeat, and it's based off a book called All You Need Is Kill. Yeah, so it has 3 different titles. He's great in the movie. He's funny, and he does. Yeah.
And he is versatile. He can deliver. It's just you just got to remember that. You're watching Tom Cruise. He's not the character. He is Tom Cruise. So it's kind of hard.
Magnolia would beg to differ. Yeah. That's his best performance ever in that movie.
That's a great one.
I love it. Yeah. So I definitely want to give some props.
The cock and tame.
I want to give some props to those two guys. Someone who, just my God, know your dose, dude. Heath Ledger. I feel like he had so much more ahead of him. And in his short life, he already did some incredible work. And I'm going to go back to Brokeback Mountain. I think that Brokeback Mountain was such an important role. You can't have straight guys play gay anymore, and it's imagine being him and Jake Gyllenhaal, two straight dudes who like convincingly give such a good performance as gay guys, you know, and like just does it so well that it opens up the box office to movies about gay people. And now like every gay actor can now be open. They can all be out. Like they've always had to, you know, be in a closet and stuff, like Rock Hudson or whoever. But you know, now they can be open, and you can have stories that like, you know, characters happen to be gay. It's not about that. It's like we've come so far, but imagine being the first guy to do that and take on the role and to be like, fuck it, I don't care, call me a fag, fuck you, you know, like I'm doing this and I'm just going in, you know, like I'm just doing it, and like just to like pull it off and to become so big off of that, and then obviously with his just crowning achievement in The Dark Knight. I mean, that is the Joker, and you know, just to see when people go, oh my God, he is the Joker. You know, like I got this on my, you know, back, whatever behind me right there, because like this guy made it happen. I mean, talk about rebooting not only a character, but a franchise. Like I love Jack Nicholson's Joker, and like I've seen so many camp Jokers, and now like they're trying to do Joker as serious and everything, you know, like, oh, I'm the dramatic lead and all that. But like Heath Ledger pulled it off, you know, he really, really did it. And I feel like there's so many moments in Dark Knight where he's just kind of just ad-libbing. Like, I think, I don't know if this is right or not, but I think that iconic scene of him sticking his head out the car in the rain and like the rain washing over him, I feel like he just kind of did that. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe
no, he's in the back. He's in the back seat, and he's like controlling the car with the steering wheel, and he's got his head out and he's taking in the air and stuff. Yeah, it's and that music kicks in. Yeah, and it's so good that like after that, since his death, I've seen in another, I can't remember right now which movie it was, but like another Australian, you know, filmmaker or whatever doing that. I think it was probably in Furiosa or something, where they just did this like little tribute to him, where the guy leans out of the vehicle and sticks his face up, and I was like, dude, those are Australian actors paying tribute to Heath Ledger because he just did it. Like he was so. That was probably definitely one of the newer Mad Max movies, because he was going to be Mad Max's son in the early 2000s when Mel Gibson was slated to come back, and the Mel Gibson debacle happened and all that stuff got washed away. But
yeah. Don't let anything ever get recorded because it will be on the internet. Hot mic, anyone? But yeah, Heath Ledger. I mean, it's know your dose. Like I hate that, you know, people have to just trust dealers and stuff, and like, oh yeah, no, don't worry, it's not cut with anything, and just to go out, you know, with whatever his drug thing was. You know,
are we talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman already?
No, we're talking about Heath Ledger, and now we're talking about the Olsen twins.
Oh, but you know, I just kind of want to get the honorable mentions done. But honestly, like my all-time top like actors, I think I will go with number 3, Matt Damon. I feel like Matt Damon just like walking into Hollywood with a script and just friggin' cojones, you know, like Good Will Hunting, bam. Like welcome me to the world, and ever since then, he just seems like he was a person. I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy, but you're in Good Will Hunting. You are Private Ryan. Like Tom Hanks is trying to save your ass, you know, like, and he pulls it off, you know. And I never got on the board at any stuff. Yeah, and you know, he had a lot of like filler and everything, but I did get into The Last Duel, even though I can't stand Ben Affleck, and I know the two are like a pair, but like even, I mean, I love The Last Duel. That was great. I don't know if you guys watched that. It was about the last duel that was like a legal duel between two people, and that was how they settled their lawsuit. And it was like before the laws in France were changed, so that you couldn't actually kill someone over a lawsuit anymore. But, you know, they had the fucking duel, and it was kind of along the court transcript or whatever the records were from the time, you know. But what are you thinking, Ben?
No, that movie, like it was the first time in a long time that when Matt Damon came out in his costume and Ben Affleck came out in his, I spit my drink out of my mouth. I was laughing so hard. Yeah, there was no way I could take it seriously with
No, they all look ridiculous.
Chucky and Goodwill Hunting in this movie, like it just, I couldn't get past 10 minutes, so I was just like, okay, I can't watch this movie. I've heard.
Yeah, no, I agree. They have some outrageous costumes and stuff, but it's just one of those things where with the storytelling, when you have 3 different versions of the same event, we kind of talked a little bit more about like Cloud Atlas, how it's like the same story told over. What's that called?
No, it's my own issues. Like this, I can't be convinced of Ben Affleck in that time period, like trying to be with his clothes and his accent. I just started laughing so hard. I was like, I can't.
I ignore all things Ben Affleck. Like he can come up and I'm just like, I'll block his ass out. Put my hand up on this side of the screen and just be like, let me look at it. Let me look at what's going on in the king's bed. That's all I care about. I don't care about Ben Affleck in his stupid robe.
Well, that reminds me of one of my favorite actors, Ben Affleck.
Tell me more about Nicolas Cage and how good he is. Sorry, I can't make myself laugh right now. I'm still sick.
No,
but so what's it called? Matt Damon, yeah, great. I'm gonna put him in for number 3. My top 2 are basically almost a tie. I'm gonna
why don't you hold off on those?
Okay, yeah, I'll hold on.
Yeah, because we'll get to the the power hitters.
Okay, good. Yeah, let's keep going.
Joanne, what else you got in the tank? So far, I don't disagree with, and I agree. I think Matt Damon's a lot like Leo, where he picks great scripts. That's one thing he's been so solid at. He's rarely been in a shitty movie.
Yeah, he's in charge of his career. Like that.
Except he was in a movie called Stuck on You, directed by the Farrelly brothers, where he's a he's a Siamese twin with like Greg Kinnear, where they're attached at the hip. Okay, so he does have one of the worst movies ever made.
No, but you know what? But it's also one of the best stories I've heard about an actor interacting with a director comes from Matt Damon on Stuck on You, where he does play a conjoined twin, and he's like, okay, I think one of the Farrelly brothers, Bobby Farrelly or someone, is like, okay, we're gonna do that again, and Matt Damon says, well, what do you want me to do differently in this take as opposed to the last take? And Bobby Farrelly goes over and he says, suck less.
Hey, by the way, Ben, if you could really quickly, so long as we're on Matt Damon, get a picture of Matt Damon in Behind the Candelabra, where he plays Liberace.
Oh yeah. I'll find. Yeah, dude, that's where he plays Siegfried or something, right? Or
basically, yeah, it's like a Siegfried kind of guy. But dude, talk about character acting, because if you put a picture up of him against the actual Liberace's actual boyfriend, like,
fitting image.
It's amazing.
And that's also something like, and that's a movie that I think was overlooked by the Academy simply because it was an HBO movie, so it didn't have a theatrical release, and so there was nothing really.
Dude, it was great. I loved it, and they did such a great job. I mean, anything that's feels authentic. Like I was watching and I was like, I know that's Matt Damon, but my God, I don't see Matt Damon right now. I see Liberace's boyfriend.
God, sorry, I'll bring it up real quick.
Yeah, bring it up,
dude.
But
holy
this
shit.
is something
I forgot. This is Michael Douglas as Oh, dude, wow,
great film, by the way.
Some funny shit.
Yeah. But this is also, it's like, oh my stars, it looks like Blades of Steel. Is that John Peter?
Yeah.
There it is.
Well, there's a great shot where, because like Liberace basically has him get all this plastic surgery to look like himself, to look like Liberace. And like there's this, I think it's Sean Penn who plays the plastic surgeon, and he's perfect, dude. Like they're sitting there one time just talking, and he reaches over and does the, because they put all the silicone or whatever the stuff, and it's malleable. So he's like, oh yeah, let me just get that cleft in your chin or something like that. It just like reforms his face.
And it's interesting because I never really thought about Matt Damon, but when it comes to my criteria of best actors, Matt Damon does do comedy very well. And to give him the credit, when you watch the Ocean's movies, like, he is so far removed from what you think Matt Damon is. And then you think about The Departed and him being Linus.
How about
in
the Informant? The Informant, like, he's unrecognizable in The Informant.
Yeah,
like, to me, that's one of his. That's a top 5, top 3 best performances. He disappears into that sleazebag. He looks like fucking what's the neighbor's name in The Simpsons? Fucking
Ned Flanders.
He looks like Fred Flanders in that movie. I want to catch up with the chat real quick. A lot of hate for Bob X hate. In Romeo and Juliet, primarily from One Tiger Stripes. Let's see.
Yeah, see, the thing is, when it comes to Romeo and Juliet, my favorite one is the one with Liz Vassy. Not Liz Vassy.
Hateful.
What was the name? What was the one from the 60s?
Oh, I don't know.
It was called Romeo and Juliet. That's all I know.
That's all I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
R and J. Yeah, we have different tastes. Romeo and Juliet, Baz Luhrmann. By and large, I don't care for his work. I liked Elvis too. I liked
Elvis as well.
I wasn't expecting to, but I did. Leo was incredible in eating Gilbert Grape. Yeah, he was. Even though you never go full, but he
impaired.
Did. You never go full, but he did. Got to roll out. Bye. I'm sure you're already gone, but thanks for being here, DJ. Play nice.
See you, DJ.
Tom Cruise got star power.
Me.
Top Gun 2, solid.
No, Ben, DJ Play Nice reminds me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your parents. Hit the thumbs up. Ring the bell.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, John. Talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh,
top 5.
Top
5 as well. Definitely top 5. Maybe top 3. I'd have to go through his shit again.
I really enjoyed The Adjustment Bureau.
Was that another Soderbergh one? I can't remember.
I don't know.
The Informant.
Look it up.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Right.
Moving on, Joanne. Sorry, you were about to go, and then I had to stick my nose in and talk about Matt Damon more.
No worries at all. No, that was worth it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with action, which is Arnold. None other than Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold Vosloo?
That's the main reason why. But also, I was always into bodybuilding since I was little. So, saw him and watched Pump and Iron. Yes, Scotty, you didn't know that?
Yeah, lifting weights is like coming. It's like having sex with a woman and coming.
I feel like I should lift things if I want to hang out with Joanne anymore.
But he's just irreplaceable. Nobody can replace it. And I've heard other Austrian people talk. They don't talk like him. Like, he's just a very unique guy who's done a ton of great action movies that everybody loves. Fun movies. Not necessarily talking very serious. Just like with my heart, I love him as an actor. And I love to see him on screen, and I know I'm not alone in that. Everyone loves him. Like, everyone loves to watch him. And so, I don't think there's much else that needs to be said about that. Just
I last year I read his autobiography called Total Recall. It's amazing. I have so much respect for that dude after reading that. But he alludes a little bit to things that people have said in the past, that he kept his accent on purpose. Because for how much he's lived in America 5 times longer than he lived in Austria at this point, or three or 4 times longer. Some of it should have disappeared, and it hasn't.
Yeah.
And it's because it's his trademark.
It is.
So he's keeping it, like, if he sounded like Fred, or whatever, then it wouldn't work, and I'll be back doesn't work.
No,
I'll be back. It does,
But and that's something that I've heard about him, and I don't know what to think about it, and so I don't know how factual it is. But it's one of those things where it's like, if you hang out with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he'll walk up to you and he'll say, "Hello, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger," and it's like, that's not how you're supposed to say that, Arnold.
No,
And
he's
it's like,
like,
well,
"I'm
no, because I don't have to
Schweiger."
do it for you. I do it for the audience.
Yeah,
It makes
yeah.
perfect sense to me. I mean, yeah, it's a smart decision on his part, to not
If you
get
think
rid of
about it, it makes no sense. Like he is working for the US government for this underground above CIA pay level thing and True Lies, but he's Austrian. It doesn't make sense. Why does he have an accent? He could not work for that organization like that otherwise. Well, maybe he could, but you know what I mean? Like he's playing these all-American characters over and over and over again. US Special Ops, US Navy SEALs, US whatever, but he's got the accent and like the whole time.
Well, at least he's not doing a British accent like everyone else.
Yeah,
Right.
but come
it's
on,
still his
like
accent.
Last Action Hero when he does Hamlet, the best.
You're not to be.
Not to be.
Not to be.
Not to
He's lighting the
be.
cigar. Yeah.
Crushes the skull. Well, I just saw Arnold give an interview when he was talking about his time as a young bodybuilder turned actor, Conan days, and he said that he was with Andre the Giant, and they had done a big thing down in Mexico, big show, whatever, and Andre had flown him in, hosted him, this and that, showing him around, and they finally go out for dinner. And he's like, listen, Andre, I'm going to pay for the dinner. You've been such a gentleman with me, whatever. And Andre's like, no. Yeah, no, I pay, And he's like, no, I insist. And he goes, and I'm not going to do the accent, but he said that Andre the Giant just grabbed him and picked him up and put him on top of a cabinet and went and paid the bill. And he was like, the man's hands were 3 times the size of mine.
Well, that's the thing. If Andre the Giant is going to a bartender and asking for 2 fingers of scotch, does it fill up this entire cup?
Leave the bottle.
Dude, that guy's fingers were gigantic. They were like bratwursts.
Yeah.
They were fucking huge.
Massive. Crazy. You don't even
And he
appreciate
could
it
drink
unless
a
you
ton.
see him next to someone as large as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
John says, do Arnold doing a Batman, or if it's a Christian Bale Batman voice, it'd be like, that'd be hard.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman. What is right up? Where's
the trigger?
Where's the girl? The girl is on the island.
So I'm going to say that all of us are the best actors of all time based on our Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions alone.
Exactly. Joanne, anything else on Arnie?
No, you guys just demonstrated why, why I mentioned him and what I wanted to happen.
It's showtime.
Stick around.
Plain zero.
Put the cookie down.
Scotty, go for it. If Joanne's
Philip
good.
Seymour Hoffman. I like heroin.
Yeah.
On my list. Yep.
Again, a man who could do comedy, drama. Someone brought up recently, I think it's a friend of the show, Terrier. He was talking about someone that he knew who was going to send him one of the screen-used frogs from Magnolia.
Oh, cool.
And so I went and I revisited Magnolia. What a heartbreakingly awesome movie. Also,
super depressing, but awesome. Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is the only good villain in any of the Mission Impossible movies. I love him in everything with Paul Thomas Anderson. There is his Capote, everything about whenever he is in anything for however much time. He's been in Adam Sandler movies when he was in what's the Hoo-Ah, the Al Pacino blind guy movie.
Oh, The Scent of a Woman.
That's it. What a dick in that. He made me hate him. And that's your job. He is never. I don't think I have ever seen a Philip Seymour Hoffman movie where I've been weak. So,
right.
I don't know if there's anything that I can say that hasn't been said about Philip Seymour Hoffman, aside from I wish he were still around to do more. But again,
did he
drugs
like
are powerful
on
drugs.
heroin or something? Is that why you keep talking about heroin?
Yeah, he OD'd. He OD'd heavily.
Yeah, horrible.
Well, I guess you don't mildly OD.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a mild OD. That's just a good night.
Yeah, that's just something you regret. Death is much longer lasting.
Oh,
but
God.
no, I think he's amazing, and I do believe he won an Oscar for Capote. But Boogie Nights, like whenever he shows up, and again alongside Matt Damon in Talented Mr. Ripley. You see, when you know Philip Seymour Hoffman is in a movie, you're gonna be having at least a good time.
He's the only villain in that Mission Impossible franchise that stole the movie from Tom Cruise. Like completely stole it from him. His villain is so like laser focused and menacing, and you're just like, holy shit, this guy is not fucking around. Like from that opening scene, it's like he's giving it so much gravitas for like a campy Mission Impossible movie, but he makes that movie so much better because he's a villain that's like it should be in a different movie. Even though I really like that movie, but
no, but it's like, okay, and maybe this sounds
he's also very
slight.
funny too. Sorry,
maybe this sounds slight, but when people talk about Michael Caine being in the Muppet Christmas Carol, and it's like, how are you so good in this? And it's like, because because Michael Caine, I'm paraphrasing, I'm gonna treat it like a role with regular actors, and if there are Muppets around me, who fucking cares? I'm still gonna treat it as deadly serious as the source material demands. And that's how I feel about Philip Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible 3. It's like, you're in a Mission Impossible movie. You're not supposed to be this good.
So John says in MI3, Hoffman was chasing the moose knuckle. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. That's from our first chug show ever. I think it was called the Rabbit's Foot, but when we were chugging beers, somebody said, John said he's chasing after something called the moose knuckle. Yeah, dude.
Michelle Monaghan.
Philip Seymour Hoffman could also steal a movie right out from under a comedy too, like Along Came Polly. He's the fucking best part of that movie.
Yeah,
he's so goddamn fun in that movie.
I like him in The Savages. That was a great movie too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, my stars. What is the one where he plays the? He plays a gambling addict.
Paul in Hard 8. In Hard 8.
No, Hard 8 is Tom. Oh no,
Well, Hard 8 was Paul Thomas Anderson's first movie.
Paul Thomas Anderson, and it was John C. Reilly.
Oh, John. What? No. I know it's John C. Reilly, but they get Paul Thomas Anderson gives Philip Seymour Hoffman one scene at the craps tables, one tiny scene that was almost supposed to be nothing, and he turned it into this just like amazing, like 2 minutes.
Right, right.
Yeah.
No, it's incredible. Like Love Liza, where he played a protagonist who was addicted to huffing gas. Get away. Seriously? There's
fucking
one
Almost Famous. Dude,
yeah.
He's so good, man. He was so good. Yeah. God rest Philip Seymour Hoffman.
He is
been dead for almost 11 years now. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, cheers to let's do heroin.
What are you drinking there, Bobak? Didn't even ask you.
Got some bourbon.
Delicious.
Straight bourbon.
So I'm gonna list off a couple that, like, kind of to be determined how far they'll go in history, but as like some of them right now that, and I'm not going to get into their filmography much, but like Andrew Garfield, people are like, oh, the Spider-Man guy, dude, watch The Social Network. He is fucking a revelation in that movie. And then something that I really loved called Silence, which was Scorsese's sort of movie he always wanted to make about religion. He's brilliant in that. Hacksaw Ridge, I thought he was, well, he got a Best Actor nomination for that. I thought he was great. Chris Pine, more a movie star quality than like somebody who I would consider like a Pacino or De Niro, but watch Hell or High Water. He's fucking brilliant in that movie. He's so good in that.
Well, that's a Tarantino pick of the week. Like,
well, it's a Taylor Sheridan movie. Yeah.
Well, no, but Tarantino has said about Chris Pine that the biggest movie star that he's seen.
Oh, he did say that. Yeah, he did say
the last ever is when
was he dropping a nugget that he wants to work with him on his last movie?
Let's hope. Let's see. That'd be cool. That would be rad. But like he said, Unstoppable was the movie with him and Denzel Washington in the train.
Yeah, Unstoppable. Yeah, that was Tony Scott's last movie.
Mm-hmm.
Dipping on two different side. Anya Taylor-Joy, still young, but man, The Queen's Gambit. I'm sure Bobak, you've seen that as a chess lover. If you haven't seen it, you need to see that movie or see that miniseries. Yeah, she's like great. She's kind of a scene stealer in everything she does. Still so young. The Menu, she's great. The Menu, she's awesome. She's really owning it.
Great and Furiosa.
Jessica Chastain. Jessica Chastain, one of my favorite performances in my favorite movie of 2012, Zero Dark 30. Emma Stone, last year, best performance of the year. Yeah, I mean, you know, she got out of that like, hey, I'm in Superbad, hey, I'm in like Easy A, and became like a solid, like hardcore Laura Dern type actress, you know.
Well, and sort of to complement what you were saying about Ed Norton, she was great in Birdman.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
She was, yeah.
kind of tied a bow on the end of that film.
But the one I'm going to go with next, my top one will be in the next round for sure. But plus, I got a couple under the radar ones that I think deserve more credit throughout their career. Peter Sarsgaard. That dude has just been so epic in everything. He's been in some Sam Mendes movies. He was a scene stealer in Jarhead. He was in Garden State. He's really good in that. He's a character actor. He's married to Maggie Gyllenhaal in real life. I've always just thought when he's in a movie, I'm always so interested in what choices he's making as an actor. And he's always doing something unique, and he never plays the same guy. Walton Goggins.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Shield. Shane Vandrell is one of the most badass, best TV characters ever written on TV, I think.
You see, I'm more of a Righteous Gemstones guy when it comes to Walton Goggins, and I love.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that. Yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah, no, but he's great. He's another guy that I was like, I don't like Walton Goggins. I don't like his face. And then I started watching Walton Goggins and stuff, and I was like, why don't you like Walton Goggins, Scott? And it's like, because his name is silly. And it's like, come on, he's cool.
We talked about him a little bit earlier. Billy Bob Thornton. Just everything he does is magnetic. Fucking everything he does is so good.
You know the favorite thing?
New show Landman this year. He's so goddamn good in that show.
John Hamm show. You know what?
John Hamm's barely.
You know what my favorite thing that Billy Bob Thornton's been?
What?
Angelina Jolie.
Never gets old.
You didn't see that coming? Come on.
Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell's another one.
Yeah, definitely Sam Rockwell is rad.
Jeremy Renner's another one. Just his intensity, like his facial expressions. There's always something he's doing with his face, even when he's not talking. I love Jeremy Renner's like just this crazy, just sort of like electricity, like something going on with him. He's very intense.
Well, that's interesting in terms of seeing actors doing things behind the eyes or with their emotions that is conveyed through their performance. I was watching Pushing Tin, and I'm a big John Cusack fan, and it's like John Cusack is pretty fucking good until he started to swell.
Well, a lot of actors, their strong suit is lay it all out there on the table with dialogue and, you know, hand gestures and this and this and this. And some like really fucking great actors, there's a stoicness about, like, you know, they're acting through something more than just that, you know. And I think Renner's like one of those really good examples of that. Earlier in his career, he had more talky roles where he's playing like a villain or a bad guy. So he could do that flashy dialogue and deliver it well. I mean, he got 2 Oscar nominations earlier on in The Town. He's like the bad guy and he's talking and he's a smart ass. But these days, as he gets older, he's doing this other thing where he's quieter, but it's like this, I don't know. There's something in the eye. Like I said, there's something in the eyes, the jaw. Yeah, I don't know. He's just always like, he's always very magnetic on screen. And my favorite movie of 2017 was Wind River. And he does that so much in that movie because he's such a tortured guy. Anyway, I'll give one more and then I will pass it back to Bobek. I'm just going to read this filmography. Ethan Hawke.
He was one of mine too.
Okay, so the Before trilogy, amazing, harsh yet subtle performance as Jesse throughout all 3 of those movies. Scene Stealer in Dead Poet Society. Every kid wanted to be Troy from Reality Bites in 1994. He was a rebel. He was grungy, sarcastic. He smoked. He got Winona Ryder. Underrated in Training Day. To this day, I think it sucks that he was nominated for supporting actor instead of actor when he was clearly the main guy. But we all know why, though. Like, the campaign was always going to be for Denzel because it was a stronger campaign. If they had put Ethan Hawke as best actor, it would have never happened. He had a better chance of supporting, but he's the main fucking character in that movie. He just is. And as he's another one of those guys, like we were talking about with Leo, Joanne, like as he gets older, he tipped over that scale where now he's doing like kind of older guy parts.
Black Phone.
And he just embraces it and uses like the gray in his hair and his beard to like play different kinds of things where you almost don't recognize him as the guy he used to play, and I think that's fascinating for men and women to be able to do that. I think people think it's easier for men to do it. I think women these days can do that if they embrace it. I think it's more welcome than it ever has been to embrace, like Demi Moore. She's embracing being older and it's working for her. And Pamela Anderson. Anderson. It's like, so anyway, Ethan Hawke for me is like through his entire career, I've kind of grown up watching him. Brad Pitt was terrible. I heard Vince Vaughn was okay in Angelina.
That's what I heard too. You know what? It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite long-running jokes until movies started making $1 billion, and I think I ripped it off from someone else. It's like if Mr. and Mrs. Smith was just half an hour long, and it was a sex tape of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie going at it, it would have made $1 billion.
It would have made more money than the movie did.
Yeah, absolutely. All we want to see is the hardcore pornography.
Bobek, go for it.
So I would like to, I just thought of this name as we were talking. One more quick honorable mention. Robin Williams, love the guy. I've never met him just as a person. I always say this about him, seemed like a very humane human, and you just felt it in every one of his roles. I can't think of any like he made that one movie that changed my life. It's just, I like the guy. Whether he's, he's my Mork from Mork and Mindy. Like that's just all I was as a kid watching Mork and Mindy reruns and stuff. Shazbot, whatever he does. But just like talk about a hilarious cokehead. Like that guy could just find humor in everything. And like I remember when I was a little kid, The Fisher King. It just like I'd never seen the things that I'd seen before because I was so young. But like I just remember in The Fisher King. He was a great character. He played it so well.
Don Quixote movie, right? Wasn't it The Fisher King?
I think go back and rewatch
he was supposed to be like
he's the crazy one. He's Don Quixote.
He was.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But they did the thing where he's slipping in and out of madness and like he hallucinates, and they show it so well. And it was the first time when I saw the thing where the whole all the extras in a large scene all break into choreographed dancing and then they just part ways, and they did it like in like I don't know, like Central Station, I don't know, it's like one of these big Yeah, where just everyone who's walking past each other suddenly goes into some ballroom dancing, and then they just like part and they just continue just being extras that are going to work on the subway and stuff. And I just love when I never seen that before, so things like that. Robin Williams, another great role of his that really was great for me was Good Morning Vietnam.
Hell yeah.
It's just so good, and just the thing about him was that he would always make you laugh at the saddest things and try to like cheer you up in like going through like misery and stuff. And so
especially in that movie.
I still have a theory. I have a theory about that movie because I think that he was like he was nominated for an Oscar or maybe not.
No, he got snubbed.
And the reason he got snubbed, I believe wholeheartedly, is because there is a moment where he's searching for his best friend who is a Viet Cong, and he's like been betrayed and everything. And then there's one line, and I think he improvised it, and he was like, "This will not look good on a resume," and it is something that undercuts the weight of the entire scene and the entire character. And if it weren't for that line, pretty sure he would have been nominated, if not won.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I do
remember that. How it was his friend, that was a Viet Cong sympathizer that was trying to save him from the bombing. And just so good.
It's such a tense scene. He's running around the back streets of Saigon, and he's trying to find, and it's like, come on, I was trying to help you. Why would you fuck me? And why would you do all this? And it hurts the way that he's pleading, because he's not just pleading with his friend, he's pleading with his own decisions. And then at the very end, he makes a joke that undercuts it everything.
And the whole thing.
And it's too bad because I love that movie so much.
And I think you're right, Scotty. It was probably an improv from him, which
because he was an improv master. I mean, that was
of course.
Thing.
Yeah, sometimes you're a victim of your own genius.
I liked the later part of his career the best, like Good Will Hunting and Beyond, when he really stretched like his talents, winning that Oscar for Goodwill, which was highly deserved. He was fucking amazing in that movie. But like then going and playing a couple of Psychos, like I love Insomnia. A lot of people think it's a weaker Nolan movie. I think it's one of his best movies. He's great in that. Did anybody here ever see World's Greatest Dad?
No, I haven't, but I'm afraid of it.
He's so fucking good in that movie, man. Like,
but again,
the movie's about a father who finds his emo son who hung himself while jerking off, and him trying to cover it up to this like small town. It's it's a dark comedy, but that's
hilarious. I mean, what a comic setup.
Dude, it's directed by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah, exactly. It's directed by the man who brought you Chase the Clown.
Hey, what's up,
hey,
dude?
But then also, like, this is the opposite end of this spectrum when it comes to Robin Williams is in Good Will Hunting. When he, like, I think it's Will Hunting, who is not being that good in this particular scene, he starts talking about Robin Williams' his character's dead wife. Yeah. And Robin Williams slowly takes off his glasses and chokes Matt Damon and says, if you ever take that tune again, I will fucking end you. And that is the line that it's like, Robin Williams has won an Oscar.
That's some range.
Well, he's got three of the best scenes in the movie. That the park bench, and the thing about the park bench scene, there was over 1,000 people that knew that scene was being shot that day, and Robin Williams was going to be there in the background. So the cameramen had to, because it was a very low budget Gus Van Sant movie, so the cameramen had to work their way. If you notice, it's all close ups. It's a shot reverse shot, left to right, basically. When they were going to show, there's a lot of showing the backs of them on that bench. The point I'm getting at is there was like 1,000 people watching them while the scene was being filmed, because the film crew can't tell people to fuck off. It's a public place. But the way he did that so quiet and quaint with all that nuance, and there's all these people, Mark, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to take into account like the circumstances and the situation that's happening.
It's Good Morning Vietnam.
Can you imagine Christian Bale trying to fucking act out there?
This is Doubtfire. Christian Bale would have been. He just would have been. Oh fuck! I'm gonna go kick off.
Would have murdered everybody in the park that day. So Robin Williams, you know, love the guy.
Good pick, man. Good pick.
Yeah, great guy. But you know, top two for me, and I love like the character actor, the method actor, someone who gets involved in the role. Where, you know, like a Tom Cruise, it's always Tom Cruise doing something. It's never, you know, Maverick or whoever the fuck he's playing.
I won't say never, but most of the time, yeah.
In general, right? He's just got such a beautiful. Have you seen him? His jawline. Anyway, but I'm just gonna say two names, and I'll just like go with it real quick. But Hugh Jackman is for me just so versatile. He sings, he dances. He can, like, whatever you want. Put him up on a vaudeville stage, and he'll dominate the whole fucking night, bring the house down. Like, that guy can do everything. And
he knows.
He really got typecast as Wolverine, which is fine. You know, let him make his money. Like, he's the best Wolverine ever. No one else can pull off Wolverine and not look like a buffoon. You know, I mean, like, he is a funny character with the hair and all that. But Hugh Jackman, like, makes him a real character. But for me, my favorite Hugh Jackman role was The Fountain. I don't know if you guys ever.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, yeah.
You and I had many discussions about this movie over the years, Bobak. Yeah,
love it. It's one of those things where it's like it's such a film where you have to like look at it as like philosophy, just to help you out with your life and like what you're going through, because that's what it's about. You know, it's the story of like looking at, you know, Buddhist idea of reincarnation and Mayan ideas of reincarnation, and like looking at it through also the third story, because there are three stories. And, you know, all three stories, one of them is set like in the modern real world. The other two are a lot more fantastic. One of them is just a straight up like light body being reincarnated. And like another one is like a fable of the conquistador looking for the fountain of youth out in Central America and stuff. But they're basically telling the same story over and over again. A love story about a couple, and one of them is dying, and the other one has to accept it. And it's just like, how do you come to accept loss and life, you know, of like the most important things in life? And it's just one of those things where, number one, I had to watch it a few times because I just didn't understand what the fuck was going on, you know? And so I had to like...
You were not alone, brother.
Yeah, you know? But like once you watch it a couple of times and then you understand, no, these are three parallel stories. This is a person who's stuck in a moment until he can clear it out emotionally, like come to peace with it. And no matter what story is being told, it's just the same 30-second, 2-minute story on loop, like the whole movie. And it's just, how do you process this? How do you deal with it?
Yeah, it is a movie that will break your heart repeatedly for 90 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Oh geez. But if you
I love it. I love it.
Love it. But if you can understand like the message they're trying to give, it helps you with your own life, you know? And so it's like more of a work of like philosophy or something, but they put in the film. And at the same time, it's got all the great special effects and all the incredible acting. And,
well,
you know,
that's what I was going to bring up. I know we're talking about the acting, but Aronofsky in this movie, that the whole tree, the tree bubble in space, that was optical. That was optical in camera effects. It was not special effects.
That's in camera.
That was in camera effects. He did all of it with different types of miniatures and lenses, like the whole thing. And I love that you brought this movie up, because it was the first movie, Bobak, that made me say, holy shit, this guy is good. Wolverine is good, because he had done like Wolverine and fucking Van Helsing and a couple of rom-coms. And then he does this. And I remember, dude, when this movie came out, it was in theaters when you visited me in Chicago when I was in college for the first time. So we had talked about it.
You were studying film at that point.
But we were talking about this movie, and studying. I'm not gonna say over what you already said, but at the end of the day, you have the ending, which is its main character is that beautiful setting where you don't know what you're looking at, this tree of life thing. And then you have this conquistador adventure where you don't actually see the adventure. You see everything that happens after the adventures. But the only thing you care about is the stuff happening in present day. Because that's the stuff, like Scotty said, it breaks your fucking heart.
Oh
and
my God.
some of the sound design choices that they made. I won't get into the filmmaking because that's not what we're talking about. But yeah, I love The Fountain. Sorry, John, I stand corrected. I guess Robin Williams was nominated but lost. My bad.
Yeah, no, I'm an idiot too. But that is a movie where, like, one of my things that when I've been seeing movies lately, and I've had to be corrected recently about stuff, and it's like I didn't really get it intellectually, and then someone said, "Yeah, but what did it make you feel? Like, did you respond to it emotionally?" And I'm like, "Oh, right, I forgot."
Was
the
that
reason that I enjoy art is because it makes me feel things.
The only plot that was harder for me to follow was the Conquistador one, especially at the end where like the ground swallows him up and the flowers come out of his. That was where I was like, okay, Aronofsky, fucking dial it back, motherfucker. Like we get fucking hearts.
But by that point, when you got over the confusion and you got with the narrative, trifecta of what was going on in terms of the past, present, and future, and it all culminating, and when you realize that it's all about loss and how you cannot defeat loss, you can't.
Yeah,
it's impossible. And that's when I was just like, oh, you broke my heart.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
No, I agree, Bobak. Like,
yeah, it's so deep. And and I was in a place at that time in my life that it like helped me out too, so it was like, it's really great. Sorry, what were you saying?
I lost my virginity to that movie.
I was just agreeing with you. Jackman has a lot of range.
So much range. And he's got some other stuff that I still haven't seen. I'd like to see. I haven't seen Australia yet, but I feel like for him and Nicole Kidman, it's probably like they probably put a lot into it, being Australian.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It was him literally trying to emulate Clint Eastwood, and it's amazing how much he looks like Clint Eastwood in that movie. It's crazy.
It's about as good as Quigley Down Under.
Okay,
basically, yeah, except a lot longer than Quigley.
Longer.
Down under. But I would have to say that my other all-time favorite, and I say this in almost an ironic way, but the best American character actor is British, of course. I think his family was ethnically Irish, but I think he's from London. Daniel Day-Lewis.
I was going to say.
Danny. Love him, dude. Love him so much.
He does play some of the biggest American characters in history.
Daniel Day-Lewis gets more screen time in 8th grade history classes than any other American actor. Short of John Adams, played by Sam what's his name?
Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Zach Galifianakis.
No, the sideways guy. But dude, Daniel Day-Lewis, like, if you're gonna, Giamatti. That's what I was trying to say. I'm a little drunk right now.
Good.
Hey, I'll drink to that. Paul Giamatti as John Adams.
Yes.
He gets a lot of screen time in my class, but Daniel Day-Lewis, he starts out the year as Last of the Mohicans, the first best-selling novel series by an American author, James Fenimore Cooper, that was about Americans in American colonial days. Like, this was the beginning of American.
The movie was nothing like the book, though.
I'm sure. I haven't read the book. I heard the book was really bad, but
it's a Romanticist era book. It's boring. The movie's way better.
Oh, absolutely. And so, like, he fucking nailed it, dude. Like, Daniel Day-Lewis in Last of the Mohicans, like Hawkeye, he goes by many names. I mean, oh my God.
Life, I will find you.
No matter what occurs. Dude, I still cry to that twice a year.
Good-looking motherfucker in that movie, though. Dude.
Oh yeah,
dude, the long hair. He looks like he should be in a fucking Soundgarden or something, man.
Joanne, come on.
That was like
Daniel
90s
Day-Lewis.
when long hair was new and stuff. Like he's like in there and he'll just like breaking Algonquin or whatever the fuck they're talking, the Mohicans, like he's like, oh, I'll speak English to you, and then I'm like, dude, you're a fucking badass, dude. You pulled that shit off. But then at the same thing, is he is such a character actor, right? He's not Daniel Day-Lewis. Like when he's in the Gangs of New York, like I'm not watching Daniel Day-Lewis. It takes me half the movie to figure out who the guy is half the time. And like I know his name's there. I'm like, which one is him? You know?
Yeah.
But when at the end of the year, at my 8th grade, U.S. history, at the end of the school year, we're up to the Civil War, and he is Lincoln. Like I have never seen a Lincoln that looks halfway real. Like the Lincolns are, because it's always a documentary, and they're horrible. They're horrible. Like fake.
You don't
beard.
like the Lincoln from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
I took that one.
You don't like that?
Yeah,
Or the guy from Star Trek.
Well, and
But
even
Daniel Day-Lewis,
Henry Fonda played Lincoln, and yes, Henry Fonda sucked compared
and
to
especially
Daniel
because
Day-Lewis.
what did Henry Fonda do? He did
He wore a hat.
and he wore the hat. But everyone's always been like, well, Lincoln was a tall guy, therefore he must have had a deep voice. And Daniel Day-Lewis does the research and is like, everyone was always surprised at how high pitched the guy's voice was.
It was a weird thing in that movie. People were confused because everybody thought he talked like this, but he talks like an old man in the movie. It was
that's way closer to what the real man sounded like from what I've read. Like he wasn't 4.7 years.
Know?
Like,
they have
4.7 years ago.
They have monophones back then, motherfucker. You history teacher.
No, but people always wrote. I was surprised.
I'm just fucking
stuff like that. But he owned that character. He's in the skin, and it's him. And I'll ask the students. I'm like, who played this guy in this movie and this movie? And they're like, that's not the same person. Those are two completely different actors playing two completely different characters. I'm like, no, look at the name. It's the same guy.
Yeah.
And so he's got such great iconic roles of like Americana, playing
That's
American.
the guy who drank my milkshake.
Yeah, that's right. I drank your milkshake. So good.
That's our alma mater. That's our mantra.
That's our mantra.
That's why we say we drink your cinema.
And his last words in what was that movie called again? I drank your milkshake. That was
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. And then he beats the guy to death. And then
with a bowling pin.
With a bowling pin. And looks at the greatest closing line ever. Looks at the butler who stumbles in on this and is like, I'm done.
I'm finished.
I'm finished. Yeah, I'm finished.
So I have a theory about that choice in performance in There Will Be Blood. So to me in 2002, he was clearly as Bill Cunning, as Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York, clearly the best actor of that year. Didn't win, in my opinion, best. Didn't win, but he was unmatched on how good he was in that movie. Running circles around young Leo like it was a fucking fart in the wind, And then he didn't win for it. And then when he gets this role in There Will Be Blood, that's the one time you could say Daniel Day-Lewis did play a similar character because he does dial up the Bill the Butcher and channels that in There Will Be Blood. And he has the same kind of voice, the same kind of look. And then he did win. So if he did do that on purpose, it worked.
But it's I
abandoned my boy.
a testament. It's like I'd seen Daniel Day-Lewis in many roles, and when I saw him in There Will Be Blood, I was like, who is this? Like I didn't recognize Daniel Day-Lewis. I thought it was
how good he is, yeah.
But again, I suppose it's trite, and that's why I'm apologizing for complimenting the man so many ways. Is that every time I see him, I'm like, is that Daniel Day-Lewis? I'm not sure.
He should have done. The only thing was missing from his career is he should have done like a How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days kind of movie.
I think he did. He had to do he did a romantic comedy.
He didn't. He did a musical called Nine, but it wasn't.
Oh yeah, see, that's it.
Well, when he was very young, I think he did.
Right. He played what? He played Fellini? No.
Well, he was in My Left Foot. He won in My Left.
Yeah, he was My Left Foot, dude.
My Left Foot. That's fine. I never saw it. But no. But who directed 9.5?
You mean 9?
Well, no. The classic Italian movie 8.5.
I don't know.
It's a movie.
Well,
The
he
guy,
was in
who,
Nine- he
the
was
guy
in
who
Nine.
directed La Vie en Rose.
I don't know, but Neil Marshall, I think, directed
right.
9, the musical.
I thought I was with experts.
Anyway, sorry. I digress.
I
Joanna's
know
been waiting patiently.
Yeah.
Throw
I'm
out
gonna-
your list and then give your favorite. Well, I think you already gave some of your favorite. Just do what you want. Do what you want. You
Yeah,
have the
yeah. I'm
floor,
just gonna
Elvira.
go with my last 3, and then because I'm gonna have to drop in a few minutes, so I'm just gonna go
No
with
worries.
my last
What
here.
did I have to say? Shit.
So Meryl Streep is one of my favorites. She's done so many things. I think she's undeniably good. I don't know anyone who doesn't like her.
I don't like her.
Yeah. But I think she is an example of someone, an older actress who's done, stuff from young to old. Ben, you were talking about that earlier, women embracing that. And I think she's embraced every role at every age. And another one on my list, which is actually they're in a movie together, is Nicolas Cage. I do love him.
One of the best performances the past 15 years, Pig.
Pig, yes, and he did adaptation with her, with Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of his movies recently, like old and new, and I just enjoy him all the time. Whether I'm laughing at him or whether he's doing like a more serious role like Pig. He's just awesome. Wild at Heart is another old one that I watched.
Yeah, David Lynch.
Really great.
This
Mandy.
is a snakeskin jacket. It is a symbol of my individuality.
I just enjoy him. Like whether he's doing a good or a bad job, that's always good to me. And then my personal favorite who is going to be a country. Hey, John, how's it going?
What's up,
I was
John?
just going to throw out one more actor, and then I was going to go. But your perfect time for me to talk about Jack Black.
Oh my wow!
Everybody knows he's like my favorite
versatile actor for sure.
yeah. He's done good and bad stuff. I know there's been stuff in the news about him lately. People have been like not liking him as much lately.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. They're questioning. Well, I know the Dear Santa movie. I know Ben, you hated that one. So
that was the worst movie of 2024.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm still gonna see it. I've seen him do roles that weren't that great. I feel like he just kind of puts out everything, like including even some of his musical stuff. I feel like he kind of puts out everything, and then like most of it's great. There's some stuff that's like a dud. It just doesn't hit. But
like the house with the clock in the walls.
Jack Black has performed one of the biggest scene-stealing performances in a movie ever as Barry in High Fidelity. He
Absolutely.
is fucking such a great character in that movie.
Yeah, everyone loved that one. Everyone loved that role, and that was a big surprise for everybody. And but anyway, I think he's been in the news also. Like some people are questioning, the whole thing about the band breaking up, and then they're supposed to get back together. I don't know. I don't care what they think. He's a wonderful person. He's added so much joy to people's lives. Like during COVID, when he was posting just like funny videos of himself dancing in his backyard or whatnot.
For how big he is, and for how big of a gut he has, he can do like backflips. It's weird.
Yeah, he's very athletic.
Well, he lives in a van down by the river. Wrong guy. Sorry, different.
I was gonna say he's kind of like Farley.
Him too.
No, but have you ever seen The Holiday with Jack Black and Kate Winslet?
It is one of my favorites.
He's not always just a bumbling clown. He does have chops.
No, he's always a bumbling clown.
No, I agree, Scotty. I actually listed that on our Christmas show as one of my favorite holiday movies. He's versatile and funny and lovable as a real person and an actor. So just one of my favorite people on earth. And
I just breaking news. He's going to be the new James Bond.
Nice.
Well, I just saw him in Super Mario Brothers as Bowser.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I could totally see that. I skipped over the part where they let him sing, But like aside from that,
Oh, that's some of the best parts.
Why would you skip that?
I can't.
Why
do it.
would you
I
skip
can't.
that?
He's
I
just not a
can't.
Jack Black guy. You know, there's two
Yeah.
types of people in the world, Joanne. There's people
Jack
that
Black
like
guys and Jack White guys.
I think the best.
I thought I loved you.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys used to be friends.
Horrible.
you know, I don't. Not a lot of people know this, but if you've ever seen the movie Enemy of the States, he's actually the hero of that movie. He's the one that records everything at the. He decides. He goes. You know what? This isn't a training exercise. This shit's really going down. So he decides to record it, and he saves the day at the end and gets everyone.
Him and
off.
Jamie Kennedy.
Well, I'm looking at his filmography, and there's obviously does a lot of voiceovers, which is I think really great for him, you know. But like he's been in a lot of stuff, and I'm like, dude, you were in that? I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, it's got him in Waterworld. Was he in Waterworld?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Dude, don't worry about it. For the sake of the budget, I was in Waterworld.
I know, right? Mars Attacks. He was in Mars Attacks.
He had a few early small roles
he was.
before he broke out with any big hits.
Okay.
But in that era, just before he broke out, or in like the same year that he was breaking out, were some other small roles like High Fidelity. Everybody knows was kind of a breakout role for him. But that same year was a movie called Jesus' Son, which is kind of
I love that movie.
Seen by many people. And he's like an orderly who takes drugs with Billy Cudrup one night.
Yeah,
while they're in the hospital, and they just do crazy stuff. Like it's
right.
a great breakout role.
I feel like his huge.
Sean, I'm so
thing
glad
was
you're here.
Nacho
We've been
Libre.
talking about heroin this entire show, and that is a great heroin movie.
It is.
I feel like he really made it big in Nacho Libre. Like that was like him leading role. Like we're gonna do your thing. And, you know, I think that made a big splash. But one role that I really do like because I love history, Year One. I don't know if you guys saw that at all.
Oh, yeah.
But, love it. Love it, dude. I mean, like, he is my caveman. He's my Kung Fu Panda. You know, that's how I feel.
Last movie that Harold Ramis directed was Year One.
Great. I just loved, like, looking at clips of it. You know, it's just hilarious, you know, Stone Age people and stuff. Kind of great for me.
Did you like School of Rock, Bobak?
I don't know if I saw School of Rock. I would have to go back and double check it. Yeah.
You got to see that one. Yeah.
It's my second favorite Joan Cusack film.
Good singing in there, you know, good everything. Good.
Well, Jumanji was fun. Like him with The Rock, not the Robin Williams Jumanji, but The Rock Jumanji.
Right.
Bernie,
you lost me.
Bernie. Bernie is good. Bernie's good. He's in Bernie.
Oh yes, I loved Bernie. That's a great one.
He's in one of the best episodes of the X-Files ever. The arcade, the bottle episode, the arcade, the electricity, like him and I think it was Seth Green. Super young, like teenage Jack Black, teenage Seth Green.
Oh hell yeah!
One of the best X-Files episodes ever. Yeah,
Wow,
and they were the main antagonists. It was great.
Nice. So,
love it.
He's a great pick, and you know, I'm glad Bobak, you love his singing now, and you're gonna check out his music and School of Rock. Please do.
Absolutely.
Scotty. Oh, I think it's Scott. Are
I'm
you
gonna
there,
get
dude?
going, guys. It was so great. It was so great.
Oh, you're
Yeah, I'm gonna.
All right, Joe.
Thanks for the gift, Joanne. It was awesome.
Cheers.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
Merry Christmas.
I'll see you guys again next week.
Sounds
Cheers.
good.
Thank your cinema.
Good night.
Did Scotty take a break? Do you guys know? Okay.
Well, yeah, looks like he's
So
not there.
I'll do my final, and then we'll give it to John.
Well, here, before you go, how about I just throw out some names? I'm not even going to spend time talking about them. I'll just
no, please, go for it.
Because I just jumped on here at the end. I know you guys have been talking for a while, but
no, but I wanted you to
get
come on.
And while you guys were talking for the last couple minutes that I was sitting here, I was just scrolling through my many years of lists. I've only made it through maybe like 12 years of the 30 years that I have recorded my thoughts on these movies. And I'm just blown away with the names that I'm coming across here, that not that you guys left them out, but you guys will be like, yeah, there are so many all-time greats.
Well, I still have a bunch, but yeah.
Okay. Well, Do you want to do yours before I?
No. I was just telling you, like, we're still go for it.
I mean, I know some of these are not probably the ones that you're going to go with as your top picks, but just names like definitely ones that I respect and think have given. I forget if it was Bobak you or Scotty that was talking about like actors being able to do comedy, drama, do it all, well-rounded actors. Guys like Joe Pesci, that people forget has been like Oscar nominated a ton of times, but people think of him as the Home Alone guy or My Cousin Vinny or a lot of his comedic roles.
Goodfellas.
And Goodfellas too, which is a dramatic role, but he's so like over the top. Like he
so
can do.
I just don't know how much he's done in the past 30 years though. Like he still has done stuff, but
yeah. And he's done it all in every range, I would say.
Do I amuse you?
But like, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time going on every single one of these names. John Goodman, amazing character actor who shows that he can do everything and has never given a bad performance. Like, seriously, what's a bad performance by John Goodman?
I'd have to ask Roseanne.
I never saw Matinee. Maybe he was bad at Roseanne. Good one.
Thank you.
Okay. Catherine O'Hara, like just scene stealer in any movie that she's in, can do no wrong, never given a bad performance that I can remember. Ian Holm, like there's just so many names that I could go on with.
Is he a knight? Is he Sir Ian?
Yes, he's passed away at this point, but like total character actor, does all kinds of great roles. Ed Harris, it's like a powerhouse. Ed Harris has put in so many amazing performances. Gary Oldman, like huge, memorable movies.
On my
William
list.
Dafoe. Like the list goes on. A lot of these guys are stars, but they also play that kind of character role throughout many movies. Guys like William Dafoe, even Gary Oldman can put in that kind of character performance, True Romance, stuff like that, and be totally memorable with it. Got tons more names. I mean, I don't want to take too much time and spoil any of your bigger names that you guys might still have, but I feel like it does seem like actors stand out to us in ways where sometimes performances by actresses, they maybe don't get the same kind of leading roles. They're often relegated to supporting roles. I know there's a lot of lead actress, films every year that are pushing for a lead actress performance, but definitely some powerhouses, by female actresses along the way as well, like Susan Sarandon, Kate Winslet, Julianne Moore. Like all of these are just some of the best actors around. I obviously just kind of threw this together in 5 minutes. This doesn't really have me thinking through like, oh, who do I like better than this one, and who's necessarily my favorite that I'm throwing out at the moment. But I respect all of these people, and if I was to look at their filmography right now and go over, which roles stood out for me from each one of them, they'd all have 5 or 6 just amazing Oscar-worthy performances. Just tons of great actresses. Toni Collette, always overlooked.
Yes.
Just done and so versatile, does all kinds of stuff. I think, some of her early roles, and even to this day, because her looks aren't the typical Hollywood stunning actress looks.
I think she's sexy.
She look really nice, but I think people overlook her as how great she really is, like how technically a powerhouse in Hollywood she deserves to be seen as.
She's got that traditional Italian look, right?
Yeah.
Big eyes.
Other character actors that have just turned in amazing performances, some where you don't even know, like you can't even believe that's the same person. Ben Kingsley, it's been all over the place in the roles that guy's put in. John Malkovich, just amazing.
Cyrus the Virus, right, Scotty?
Hell
Cyrus
yeah.
The
Virus. Frances McDormand, another amazing actress.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to throw out 2 names right now. I don't think these names are necessarily, Ben, spoiling your top picks, but 2 guys that co-starred with each other and just both just ate up the screen. Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro.
Hell yeah.
I have Johnny Depp, yeah.
I mean, just actors that can play any kind of role and disappear in the role sometimes, or make them iconic in ways that no other actor would.
The thing about Johnny Depp, he had to fight harder than most actors that wanted to disappear into roles because of how good looking he was. Like he looked like better than most females when he was young. It's
very pretty.
So he really had to like dive deep into that, and that might have attributed to why he got a little kind of weird, or maybe he always was weird. But I've always thought he's one of my favorite. And anytime he's in something, I'm in. Like, forget about his personal life, all that bullshit. He's definitely one of the best actors of our generation.
But even one of the best jokes that has ever been, like, continually, you know how like Jimmy Kimmel says, "Sorry, we're out of time. We had to bump Ben Affleck," is when Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globe was like, and the only reason that Johnny Depp is here is because he was in The Tourist, and then the following year, Johnny Depp was like either giving away a Golden Globe, and Ricky Gervais is like, "Have you seen The Tourist?" And Johnny Depp, like a boss, is like, "No, never seen it."
It was a paycheck.
In the paycheck. Actually, that was Michael Caine, who's another great actor we should maybe mention. I hadn't even written him down.
Dude, I got Gene Hackman on my list.
Oh, yes, good, because I didn't put him on mine, but I was thinking of it just a minute ago. It was at some point he was asked about Jaws: The Revenge. Like, have you ever actually seen it? And he's like, "No, but I've seen the beautiful house that it bought."
Yeah. That's
and you know what the best part is? Whenever anybody shits on Jaws: The Revenge, my dad fucking loves that movie.
I have an
He likes it better than the first
Helen
one.
Brody.
Whoa, that's wild. I'll throw out a couple more names here. You mentioned Sam Rockwell. He's definitely up there for me. He was underrated for way too long. Now people, see him as an actor that can get leading roles and whatnot, but it took a long time for that guy to get the respect he deserves.
Great dancer too. Have you ever? He's a great dancer, man. Like every time he goes to a talk show, he dances.
I was hot on him from Guy Fleegman. I was hot on him from Galaxy Quest. Who is this guy? And then he was in Green Mile shortly after that and stood out. And it was like, okay, this guy can do.
He was Wild Bill in Green Mile.
Do all kinds of stuff.
Well, did you guys? One of his first movies was called Box of Moonlight, and it was a Tom DeSillo movie with John Turturro. Very weird movie. I mean, really weird. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but he was fucking great. Super young in it.
It may not be his first movie.
No, not his first movie, but I think it's the first time.
I disagree with the facts when it comes to Sam Rockwell, but my favorite Sam Rockwell movie is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So that might be first. It might be. I think it is. No, but I did want to highlight Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, because that was 2004.
Yeah.
He still wasn't, people weren't really looking at him like, I know Clooney gave him that shot. He was the lead. He acted that, the shit out of that movie. And
he did. Nobody cared about the Gong Show
on my list. In fact, let me get to my list there. Did I give him a win? I don't think I did, but
hey.
Oh wait, 2003?
Devin's here. Sam Rockwell. Hey. Moon. Moon was great. Yeah.
But I love Moon.
So
good to see you, brother.
That's my third favorite Kevin Spacey movie.
James needs a potty break. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Be right back.
Yeah, take your time. I'm gonna dump out a couple of just names, Scotty, before he gets back. Before I get to the creme de la creme.
I want to start talking about chicks.
Well, no. Well, we've been talking about him. So okay, Patricia Clarkson. Always had a huge crush on her. The Shape of Things, The Station Agent. I love Patricia Clarkson. So great in everything. I wish she would do more, but I know she's one of those actresses that really got famous when she got a little bit older. So don't nobody sit there and tell me that like when females get to a certain age, they can't make it happen. She was getting Oscar nominations as an older woman. She wasn't getting those when she was younger, but man, she's so good in The Shape of Things. And The Station Agent, I just love her to death. And she's also in The Green Mile, the dying wife. But
she is, well, the living.
Shutter Island, isn't she in that as well?
Yeah, I believe so. But continue, John. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I mean, that was. I've got a number of names. If I keep going through my list, I'm just going to keep finding more names.
Well, you are welcome to list as many as you want, but we can do another round if you want.
Yeah, we can do another round. But let me, because I think I'm crossing off some of the names I jotted down, and I think there's one I want to mention before the rest of these are bigger names, like have been stars their whole career and everything like that. Real quick, just throw out one other actress name just to mention it. Judi Dench. She's very talented. But no, the one I wanted to highlight is Ben, when you were talking about who were you mentioning that they had a good run? Oh, Edward Norton. You were kind of talking about how he maybe sabotaged his career a little bit and got the reputation for hard to work with and all that.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were maybe leading into an actor I'm going to mention right now, who was my favorite actor when I was young. And I think after a couple bigger breakout roles, he had breakout roles in the 80s and then big breakouts in the 90s that made him kind of an A-list actor, but quickly it all diffused. And now he's somebody people haven't want to work with.
I know who you're going to tell. I know who you're going to say.
Val Kilmer. I thought Val Kilmer was amazing in so many roles in the 80s, Real Genius, even Top Gun, Willow.
He was the voice of Kit in the Knight Rider reboot.
Oh, I did not know that. Then he started to put in the Oscar-worthy performances with The Doors and Tombstone, and then he was the A-lister. And they gave him some shitty movies like Batman and The Saint. And
I like The Saint,
and I like Batman.
It wasn't the biggest hit for him. I liked Ghost in the Darkness. I mean, I just think that guy, if he was given the right roles in that later period in life, he could have been that kind of like a Gary Oldman character actor, where every performance he did kind of stood out in the movie and was.
From what I've heard about Val Kilmer was he was Edward Norton on crack.
Yeah.
When it came to on set, he wasn't just because Edward Norton was, a very focused person that just thought his ideas were better. And he was probably right for a lot of the times. Kilmer was like insane on sets, just turning it like in that Island of Dr. Moreau, like turning into Marlon Brando, and he wouldn't talk to the director and he only spoke to everybody on set as Marlon Brando. He was just like a weird guy. I think that was
and that's the rumor that I've heard, that he's a very difficult man to work with. But I tend to just sort of judge the performances. I love the behind the scenes. I'm a People magazine crossword player. But like it does, like, what is the art that they presented? And Val Kilmer was Doc Holliday,
dude. That to me, that's
you can do nothing wrong. Have you ever seen
one of the best performances?
I'll be your Huckleberry.
One of the best performances of the 90s.
Yeah. Like the Salton Sea, when he plays like a tweaker with Anthony LaPaglia.
That's a weird movie, but I love it.
It's a weird movie, but I love it.
The problem with that whole Tombstone, well, he didn't get nominated, so it's not like they overlooked it. I remember that movie came out in December, so it is one of those things where like people already, especially at that time, people had already kind of made up their mind of what the year looked like in terms of awards, and it was a late release, and they didn't really consider it, but it should have gotten hopefully in today's kind of world, it would have been, no matter when it came out, people would have recognized that work.
Well,
but
it was
that's the same year that had.
Unforgiven.
That's the same year that had DiCaprio going full, and Ray Fiennes playing a Nazi and John Malkovich playing an assassin. Like that had one of the most stacked. Years. But Val Kilmer easily could have been in there if you take out Tommy Lee Jones for The Fugitive, which isn't even an Oscar-worthy film.
Who is the guy who won the Oscar? Let's take out the guy who won.
Tommy Lee Jones had the best performance of playing Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Who's another great actor, but yeah, he kind of plays himself. I mean, that's.
I will not sanction your buffoonery.
We should
you know
separate.
what? I don't know. I think that it is a star turn for Tommy Lee Jones, and maybe it seems a little. I don't know. Do you think
I always thought it was
that
underseen.
pedestrian?
He was better.
Do you think it's that pedestrian?
Kind of, but also to Ben's
not
point,
upset
he
with that.
for the most part plays himself or plays a variation of his, the person we know as Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
in movies.
Joe
And there's a lot of
Pantoliano is a
actors
better
that do
actor
it.
in The Fugitive.
Tom Cruise is an example of gets away with playing that character over and over, and we all show up for it. And we consider it good. Like, that's still good acting playing those roles, but they're not breaking out and being the chameleon and
one of my
certain actors excel at playing themselves over and over, and we still consider them one of the greats.
One of
And
my
others need
dad's
to play all those
favorite
wild different roles for us to consider them that.
One of my dad's favorite actors is John Wayne, just because he's old. My dad, not John Wayne. And my mom says, why the hell do you watch all of these John Wayne movies? Because it's exactly the same. It's just like the next episode of John Wayne. And I kind of agreed with that for a while until I saw like The Searchers and The Shootist. And yeah, we're still talking about John Wayne, but he does a good job at not being John Wayne. And so I understand when you're like, oh no, it's just Tommy Lee Jones being Tommy Lee Jones. I agree. But there are way better Tommy Lee Jones movies. And I still say, yeah, the Joe Pantoliano was a better actor in The Fugitive than anybody else.
Joey Pants.
Joey Pants.
Let me throw out a couple of names here. Julianne Moore.
I mentioned her.
Kate Winslet.
We've seen your boobs.
I mentioned her.
Kate Blanchett.
I have her. Yeah, totally. Bingo card.
And probably my favorite actress of all time, Angela Bassett. Love Angela Bassett.
You are a Bassett fan. You're a Bassett hound.
I've got it bad for Bassett, Scotty. I've got it bad for Bassett.
Dude, and she was nominated for an Oscar for
for Tina
Black
Turner.
Panther 2.
Well, for Tina Turner as well, yeah.
And no, she won for Tina Turner.
I don't think she did. Did she win for
Really?
Tina Turner?
I thought she did.
Win.
No,
she
did not.
She
win.
should have.
She was nominated.
She did on my list. I got it right here.
She should have won for Strange Days. She's fucking amazing as Mace. Still my biggest movie crush of all time.
I need the Strange Days Blu-ray.
Denzel. No, I can't believe we've gone for 2.5 hours and no one's mentioned.
So in my top 3, I have Denzel.
Okay, go for it, John.
Well, I'm not doing my top 3.
Oh, you want? Okay, we'll do it. You do your top 3 the next round.
Sure,
I'll do my
I got
top
other
3.
names I can mention, but you
Scotty, you're next. So go for
Scotty,
it.
You got some,
Scott, because I think Bobak can throw in more if he wants, but I think he polished his off. Scotty,
I just got another side one, but like not my top ones. Yeah,
Scotty, you go, then I'll go, and then John can throw out his beasts. Because I only have really like one more that I have.
Well, all of my top ones have been mentioned anyway.
Oh, well,
mine too.
Yeah, because they're the greats.
Well, Scotty, do you want to go, or do you want me to just throw mine out?
Why are we always preparing? Just go.
We're always prepared. Okay, I'll go. Okay. Kurt Russell, Colin Farrell, Joaquin Phoenix. Just throwing those out. My favorite actor of all time, Paul Giamatti. Check out this run. Private Parts steals the show. Donnie Brasco, small part, but it's the forget about it part. It's one of the most memorable parts of the movie. Man on the Moon should have gotten a supporting actor nomination, but didn't.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Negotiator.
he played Bob Smuda.
He did. The Negotiator, another scene stealer in that movie.
Yeah.
American Splendor, snubbed for an Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
Sideways, one of my favorite movies of all time, one of my favorite performances of all time. Snubbed. Cinderella Man finally got nominated, didn't win. John Adams, like Bobak said, what can you say about that? He He embodied it. He was brilliant. It was
is
incredible.
John Adams.
Yeah. Win-win. Highly underrated comedy about high school wrestling coaches.
Dude, you know what? You know what? I just have to stop you right there. One of my favorite things, and this is something that I've been looking for, and then I found out what movie it was from. I saw this in the theater, Win-Win. And there is a moment where, no, there are several moments. He talks about, and I'm currently in the process of quitting smoking, which means I've had 4 cigarettes today. And he goes out every time he gets stressed out. He goes, and there's a scene where he goes to a convenience store, buys a pack of cigarettes, pulls one cigarette out beside a dumpster, throws the rest of the cigarettes away, and smokes it like it's his fucking job. And it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And I had to go back and see it again. And I was like, really? It was about wrestling? I thought it was about a man trying to quit smoking.
One of the things that makes that movie so great is it's Paul Giamatti and Bobby Cannavale. And those two playing off each other is magic in that movie.
Bobby Cannavale is another one of those actors. When I first encountered him, I was like, shut up. And the more I've seen him, I like him more.
So, most recently, as we all know, The Holdovers 2023.
Haven't seen it.
Finally nominated for Best Actor. Didn't win. Should have won. I love you, Cillian Murphy, but Paul Giamatti was running circles around you as far as acting performances go that year.
Yeah.
The story was better to have Cillian Murphy win to make it a clean sweep with Oppenheimer, but Paul Giamatti was way better in his performance in The Holdovers, in my opinion. And he's to me, he's like the most relatable. Yeah. He's the most relatable actor with the choices that he makes. He can go crazy high. He can be a super famous actor and still be a bit player in a movie. He's the best. Whoa. And he doesn't have star good looks, which makes him even stronger as an actor, that he can carry a movie and people will go see a movie starring Paul Giamatti with two eyes going in different directions, and they still just want to see it because it's Paul Giamatti. So
I would say that Nicolas Cage's introduction or nomination for Paul Giamatti was better.
It was great
than Cillian Murphy's entire performance in Oppenheimer.
That was really cool that Nicolas Cage did that for.
Would I do it? Hell yeah! But you did it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me. I'm done. Paul Giamatti, every day, all day. Best, my favorite actor. Scotty, go for it. And
I got 3. I got 3. No, I got 5. So I'm gonna go. Everyone already talked about John Hamm, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Well, no one talked about John Hamm but you. But.
No, but John Hamm. No, fucking subscribe. And Gene Hackman, I think, is one of the best actors ever to live, and he's still living. And I just wanted to give a big shout out to Gene Hackman.
He's hanging in there, man. He's hanging in there.
98 years old. He looks like Gene Wilder at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not looking too
Wilder with a mustache.
He looks like pizza dough wearing suspenders, but he's hanging in there.
He's got a treadmill or whatever. I love him from Lex Luthor to Royal Tenenbaum to Popeye Doyle. Like Welcome to Collingwood or whatever that Ray Romano movie was.
Welcome to Mooseport.
That's
unfortunately his last movie.
I have to buy that movie just to watch Gene Oldman die. So speaking of Oldmans, Gary. I'm a big fan of Gary Oldman.
I was going to bring him up, so I'm glad you did.
Yeah. He played, you know what? My favorite Gary Oldman movie. You can talk about your Dark Knights, your Sid and Nancy's, your
Dracula.
The Professionals. You can talk about anything you want.
Wait, did you say The Professionals?
Everyone!
Sorry, it was right there.
There he is. The best Gary Oldman movie is called Tiptoes.
I love Tiptoes, man.
So do I. I have it on DVD.
McConaughey and Kate Beckinsale and Bridget
There's
the Midget.
no way I am ever like. We have to review it at some point, sir.
It is so fucking. It's so ill-conceived. Why that movie was made? Do you guys know what Tiptoes is?
No, never heard of it.
Gary Oldman plays a midget,
a dwarf.
It's so unconvincing. He's Matthew McConaughey.
It's kind of like Dorf. It is like Dorf.
Yeah, it comes off like Dorf. It's so poorly done. Like it's a combination.
Midgets.
John, it's a combination of forced perspective and literally him on his knees. like because the way he walks, it's like somebody walking on their fucking knees. Like it's
I've never heard
a
of
weird
it.
movie, and it's not a comedy. I mean, it's funny.
Oh, it's
Well,
no, it's
What
it's a
year-
drama.
it's got that
It's
David
drama.
Allen Greer fella.
When was
It's
it
a
made?
dramedy. It's a dramedy.
It's a dramedy. Yeah.
When was it
I
made?
have it. I have it on DVD.
So do I, dude. So the thing is, okay. So here's the deal.
When was it made?
Matthew
What year?
McConaughey
I think it was like
and
2000
Gary Oldman are brothers.
2001 or
And
2002.
Gary Oldman is a dwarf, and Matthew McConaughey is a normal sized dude, and that's why he gets to bang Kate Beckinsale. But
Yeah, it's like Kate
Kate
Beckinsale gets
Beckinsale-
introduced. Like her boyfriend's Matthew McConaughey, and then when she meets his family, they're all like small people. You know,
no, but you're missing the main thing is that Matthew McConaughey, being from a family of dwarves, he ends up getting Kate Beckinsale pregnant. And this is where the family drama comes in. It's like, well, what if you give birth to a little person? And it's like, shut up, Kate. All babies are little. And it's like, no, they'll grow up to be little. And she's
And
like,
then there's a
why
scene
didn't you
where-
tell me?
And there's a scene where David Allen Greer is fucking the porn star Bridget the midget on a piano.
Yes.
At one point. It's so fucking bonkers,
get why
John.
it's your favorite.
Yeah, that's how
Just
Ben
check
knows
out-
this movie.
Yeah, just check out the trailer.
Well, no, Bobak, while my past like reputation of like liking midgets is people were sending me, dude, you got to watch this movie. There's midgets in it. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I will. Start a YouTube channel about just like midget movies.
Do you remember that one time that I actually sent you a midget?
I do. Well, she got lost in the mail, so I never saw her.
Oh, well, I'm glad that there were air holes.
Yeah, she fell out of the air hole though.
She wasn't that small. Anyway, this is really rude.
Gary Oldman is an amazing.
No one's watching anyway.
No one cares.
But Gary Oldman is one of those people where like you just don't know that it's him. You know, you just kind of
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, I've seen you before. You seem familiar to me. But I've got a person who
The Darkest Hour, Drexel from True Romance.
yeah,
Well, even
Right.
Oppenheimer, when he played Truman, he played Churchill and
he
Truman. That's
played the
fucking
fuck
awesome.
out of Truman. he was
You
the
guys seen
best
a movie
Truman
called
ever.
The Contender from 2000.
Oh yeah,
He's like the opposition to Jeff Bridges and Joan Allen are
that's a great movie.
they're trying to nominate Joan Allen as like a vice presidential pick.
I love that movie, man.
And he's the opposition, kind of investigating her, and he's just so smarmy and stuff. I love that.
Well, and
I
Harrison
love
Ford.
that movie. Joan Allen is so hot in that movie, and I love Sam Elliott's line where he's like, "They're not going to elect a woman as vice president when there's a video showing her with a mouth full of cock."
I don't know. I think that could have got Kamala hired.
Nowadays.
But what I'm saying, no, that it's a great movie, and what was I gonna? The Fifth Element. Like I'm just gonna
Yeah,
talk
dude.
about Gary
What's his
Oldman
name in
things.
that? What's his name in The Fifth Element? He's
I
got
don't know, bad guy.
Yeah,
Zord.
he's got that weird hair thing.
Yeah,
Dude,
Where are
that
the
guy's
all over the
Stones?
place.
Where are the Stones?
yeah, the Stones. Yeah, but Gary Oldman, he's someone that disappears into the character. But you guys probably know this next person's name. He, to me, Scotty has such a punchable face. I hate this guy. Every time he shows up on screen,
Why are you
like he's in
bringing
a
me
lot
up?
of
Maybe
TV
he's one of your
shows.
favorite actors.
Well, I'm not saying he's one of my favorite actors, but I think he's really good because he annoys the fuck out of me. I don't know his name, and he always plays some side character. Like you will almost never see his
Is
name.
it T.J. Miller?
Burn Gorman. You guys know this guy's name? Burn
Never
Gorman?
heard of Burn Gorman.
Never heard of him, but look him up.
What was he in? Well, what was he in?
Well, no, I'm gonna look him up.
He's been in all kinds of stuff, but he's never the main guy. Like
Do I spell it like Burn Gorman?
Yeah, like BURN, GOR.
He was in
that guy.
Yeah. But you've seen him a billion times in everything.
I agree with the punchable face thing.
Oh my god, I want to sock his face.
Yeah,
he always plays some slimy guy. Yeah, he was in Pacific Rim. You may remember him from that.
Well, he was in Dark Knight. He was in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, that's where I know him from.
Yeah,
he's in so many TV shows. He plays like the slimy bad guy in like every fucking show.
So he's one of your favorite actors?
No, I hate him. I
fucking
just
bring him up because
we're going with bottom
we're off
five.
the cuff now. We're off.
but he's good though. But like Scotty was talking about different people. You know, like why do I hate him? You know, he always plays the slimy guy. He's never the good guy. He's never the romantic lead. He just looks off. But he's such a great character actor. And if you can make me hate every character that you play, not because you played it poorly, but because they're hateful characters and you just really embodied them, like good job, you know?
So, yeah, no, exactly. Like, this is your job.
That makes me think of like Ben Mendelsohn and like Mads Mikkelsen, like people who just like are so good at playing just pieces of shit. You know?
And you know what? My last, like, I'm just gonna go over my chicks. I think that Scarlett Johansson is really awesome. I am a fan of Brie Larson. Sorry, not sorry
she's a great
at all.
Actress.
She's a great actor. Kate Blanchett, you mentioned. Rachel Weisz, I added to the list because we were talking about so many awesome Rachel Weisz movies. And then Naomi Watts. I like Naomi Watts. And going back to David Lynch, Naomi? Anyone who sits in the palm of King Kong will be a movie star for life. So that's why Naomi Watts is there.
She did such a good eulogy. Like so many, I love it that everybody that worked with Lynch has put something out. The Nicolas Cage one, if you guys haven't seen it, you have to see it. Nicky, like Nicolas Cage nails David Lynch's voice when he talks about how he was on set. But anyway,
I'll have to look that up.
John, let's go. Let's keep going.
All right. Well, I've got some names here that I don't believe were fully mentioned, maybe kind of mentioned in passing a little bit. I think some of them are the most well-known, greatest actors of all time to some degree.
Carol Burnett.
Throw a couple of them out there. Carol Burnett is deserving of that honor.
Yeah.
With just
Hilarious.
one movie, noises off, in my opinion. Kathy Bates. She's great. Yes, we all have. Christian Bale. I mean, I think he's been mentioned in the conversation, but I don't think he's been mentioned as one of the greatest actors because he really has played so many different roles over the last.
Have you heard his normal voice? His like actual voice?
I have.
His Welsh accent, yeah, a little bit.
Is it Welsh? Yeah. He sounds so like Cockney to me, and he's I
think the closest he ever got to his Welsh accent was probably John. What's the one we love? The
Prestige?
No, the race car one. Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh yeah.
It's a little Cockney, but you can hear the Welsh in there a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit in the Prestige as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Didn't sound like what I expected.
Did anybody mention Charlize Theron?
I had it on my list, but I just didn't say it. Yeah,
she's one of the greats.
Because
you know what? My favorite thing is that her breakthrough role was from The Devil's Advocate, and that was the one that brought her to prominence. And she almost wasn't cast in it because she was too pretty.
Ashley Judd. Yeah,
Ashley Judd.
It was going to be Ashley Judd. Yeah.
Ashley Judd. I don't want to say anything negative about Ashley Judd. Here's my opinion on Ashley Judd. I don't like it. I don't like it when people don't acknowledge. This goes back to my Leonardo DiCaprio thing. I don't like it when actors who make it big don't acknowledge where they started out. Leonardo DiCaprio never talks about growing pains. You know what? Leonardo DiCaprio, you should come on this podcast and talk about your time at growing pains. And Ashley Judd, I also throw down the gauntlet. I say you should come back here and talk about your 2-episode stint on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Stop being a fucking bitch.
I liked her on Star. She was Wesley's like love interest, right?
Ensign Robin Leffler. She was dope.
Yeah, I liked her.
Did she ever talk about it? No.
She probably never asked about it.
Well, if she would go to a convention, I would ask her in person.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, that was a lot.
Who were you talking about? Charlize Theron?
No, we were talking about Ashley Judd because she
Ashley Judd. That's right. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I got lost because I was reading the names on my list. I'm like,
if you want to see the real outcoming of Charlize Theron, watch 2 Days in the Valley.
Yeah.
You see her breasts, you see her butt and spandex and white spandex. It's incredible.
But she is stunning in 2 Days in the Valley.
Yeah.
Too bad the movie sucked. Amy Adams.
Yeah, but Danny Aiello was harsh.
Jodie Foster, another very talented, diverse actor. That's it for the females on the list that I just jotted down.
Yeah, but what about Helena Bonham Carter?
Well, yeah, there's so many more. I'm leaving off names that I'd love to include, but I'm
John, do you know who Jessie Buckley is?
But here are a couple like classic, like almost more classic actors. Peter O'Toole, done so many great performances. Brando, I mean, really was one of the greatest. I think some of those early roles, like On the Waterfront, are really deserving of the credit that guy got back in the day. He did kind of change acting. The melodramatic kind of theatrical style that you were seeing in the 30s and 40s, he had a big effect on the industry to kind of shift it into more realistic acting. And I have to thank him for that, because it's as good as some movies from the 30s and 40s are, it's hard to find ones where the performances don't just feel the top melodramatic. And you can't buy into the realism of the film when everybody's so theatrical. So I give Brando a lot of credit. I know, some of his later stuff wasn't as good, but he was still doing great stuff all the way through The Godfather. Jack Nicholson, Al Pacino. They've been doing great work all the way through their career. But I do think in the 70s and 80s were some of their best roles to some degree. But got to include those guys as some of the greats.
Absolutely.
Anthony Hopkins, Jeff Bridges, Jack Lemmon.
Oh, Walter fucking Matthau.
Yeah. Sean Penn.
Have you ever seen the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3?
Not the original.
Oh, the original is so good. It is
Ben, is
so.
Is the remake Tony Scott, or is it just
It is Tony Scott. It's not one of his best.
No, I remember.
No, it seems kind of rote. I hate to say, but the original.
Yeah. The original's good. The original's grimy and gritty. I like the original. Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, no one mentioned Tom Hanks.
I mean, there's so many big names.
Play the laugh.
So many.
Dude, Tom Hanks when 2000 Castaway, I was like, fuck. That was like something that very few people could do.
That movie alone, the different roles he plays in that movie alone.
Oh yeah. Before you came on, he brought up Cloud Atlas.
I almost nominated him for that film, but just went in a different direction for that year. But I know that looks good.
No, it doesn't.
The downfall of Tom Hanks is when he started doing those fucking Da Vinci Code movies. Jesus Christ.
No, he doesn't look good with a mullet. We all agree.
I don't know if it was a mullet. It was more like a Vincent Vega haircut.
No, it's not.
I have one performance that is a one-time actor, and I think it is one of the most devastating performances I've ever seen. It can be hard to revisit, but I do because I love it. It has a musical element, so that helps because you kind of get to listen to some really great music while having your heart broken. but it is like I said, this is an actress. She's known as a musician, but she performed in a movie one time and deserved an Oscar. Bjork.
Yeah, Bjork is
Lars.
awesome. Yeah,
Lars von Trier, or however you say his name.
That's it. You said it right. Yeah.
Dancer in the Dark. It's about a woman going blind, trying to take care of her son, knows what's coming, that she's going to eventually soon be completely blind, and trying to figure out what to do and how to make sure her son is going to be taken care of once she's completely blind. And it's a musical. It's very much a Lars von Trier movie. You get some very brutal moments in it. It's heartbreaking, and she only acted in that one movie. And
well, remember, John, she was in, I think, one of your top 5 of 2022. She was in The Northman.
They say that, but yeah, she's like,
well, she's covered in makeup, but
that was
she
like
was
her
in
return to acting, and I was excited to see that. But it was like,
but it was her, though. It was
yeah,
her.
yeah. You barely know that it's her. It's not a
Yeah, it's like
performance
Dabney Coleman in Domino.
But if you guys haven't seen it,
Did you just name drop Daphne Coleman?
Dabney Coleman. Yeah, of course I did.
Check out Dancer in the Dark.
She's very natural.
You might like it. I think some of the movies you talk about and stuff, it might be one that you find interesting.
I've always been afraid of that movie.
You can handle it. I think you
but
can
I
handle
think it's going to be sad. Like, I think I have
It's
to be in a
very
really
sad.
good mood to watch it.
It's very sad.
So that it'll only bring me down like 3 pegs.
Yes,
Like,
but
I don't want to be suicidal after watching
It's worth the watch.
All right.
But yeah, so
that's why I'm afraid.
The kind of the top names, and again, I don't know if I would call them my top, but as I run through my list, these are probably 3 actors who get nominated more times in the 30-something years I was doing my list. But you guys have all mentioned them already because they're some of the greats. Leonardo DiCaprio, he gets nominated in almost anything he does because he deserves it. He's that good. Denzel is one that does kind of play not as much of a chameleon as I think Leo can be to some degree, because I really like chameleons. Those are my favorite actors, people who really disappear in that role, Gary Oldman's and whatnot. But DiCaprio does a better job. Denzel does not really disappear in any role, but he commands the screen in a way that almost nobody else can. And so I still think he's one of the most deserving. And that's what amazes me, is that he puts in similar roles so often, and I find me still nominating those roles. So it's about his subtlety as an actor, the way that he is able to find subtleties in similar characters, or bring the same thing from role to role, but find ways to still make you in awe of what he's doing and how he's presenting this character, even though it may be similar to something you've seen him do in the past. At least for me, did you ever see the Book of Eli? Yeah, that was a good one. I mean,
and that's something where it's like, this is Denzel Washington, and that is what you are. It washes over you in the first 2 minutes.
Another Gary Oldman too.
And then it is Eli. It is just the character.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think about, oh, that's Denzel Washington. You don't think about it. Like, you're shocked by it because you know who Denzel Washington is. But then you're brought into the storytelling of it all. And you don't think about Denzel. You think about the character of Eli. And I think that's what he does. Some people do, like, prosthetics and costumes and whatever. But, like, I do think that there's a physicality that Denzel brings to things that define his character. Like, he's a physical actor, even if he's not doing pratfalls. He makes his body present the emotional state of the character. I hate to get all fucking performance on you, but he's good. He's good.
I mean, that you said it in a way that I was not able to get to, but that's kind of what I was saying, is that, like, he's able to bring all that out in a performance with subtle things, not these drastic things that say, oh, look how different he is from that last role. But he still finds ways to make it, in my opinion, awards worthy. Not just where you notice it and go, he's good. You notice it and go, that needs to be recognized. That is some of the best of the year from consistently all through his career.
Like,
and
it's
then the last-
unfair. It's unfair to compare Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Denzel Washington. Maybe I'll compare Jason Statham and Denzel Washington.
Nope.
It's that
I would put The Rock and Jason Statham together, and they are together.
But that's what I mean. And that's why I'm picking bad actors.
Yeah.
Well, I like this whole category of actors that, like, who are the best actors that kind of just play themselves. You have,
Yeah,
like,
I was thinking we should maybe
Denzel, your
conversation to talk about.
Clooney's and Denzel's
Clooney,
and
yeah.
Brad Pitt to a certain
Clooney's
extent, with the exception of things like California.
Syriana, though.
Some of his
He was
earlier
actually
stuff, he was
playing a
really trying to
character.
play different roles. And
He
then-
was. California's his best performance.
and then like 12 Monkeys and 7 and stuff
12
like
Monkeys,
that.
yeah.
Wildly different. So my last one on the list, the Academy agrees because she's the most nominated actress of all time. I didn't take the time to count it up, but I know on my list it's close to 20
Annette?
nominations.
Oh, Meryl
Streep.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl
Susan
Streep.
Lucci?
Meryl Streep. She's up there too. Yeah. No, Meryl Streep deserves all the accolades.
B. Arthur.
Every performance, even ones that aren't as good as I know Meryl Streep is capable of, they still end up knocking for my list. I compare 5 actresses and make decisions, or I compare 20, 30 actresses and make a decision on who should be 5. And she's always beating people, even in lesser roles, in her roles that the Academy didn't notice, in her roles that I know aren't her best, but her worst day is better than so many other people's best days to some degree.
Can I make it so that I don't separate the art from the artist for a moment? Is that Meryl Streep, I think, is one of the greatest enablers of Harvey Weinstein in the history of Hollywood.
She was. She was.
I don't know those
so
details,
for that sake, like, you know,
we're not talking about that though. But
Will
yes.
Smith slapped Chris Rock, but Meryl Streep, all of her accolades are, shadowed by a veil of rape.
Meryl Streep, Sharon Stone. There's a lot of them that were, no, but we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that, but that's why I don't like her.
No, I'm glad you brought it up, but we don't need to go into it.
We're done. It's over. I'm done. I said my piece.
I don't on Cinema Gulp. Harvey Weinstein only gets real estate on this channel when we do that. Dun, 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 with his face.
He's my second favorite Weinstein.
Yeah.
Well, those are all the names I wrote down. I could keep going with the lists that I have in front of me.
I forgot a couple. Rick Rossovich, the unsung hero from
rad
the
in
1980s.
Terminator.
He played Slider in Top Gun. He was also in Roxanne. He's also in a movie called Let's Get Harry.
Terminator. He's the boyfriend who gets killed.
Yeah, he
I'll
is.
fuck you up. Yeah, I'll fuck you up, man.
We should do that. We should do a that guy.
Yeah, that would be a fun show.
That
That would be a fun show.
Fucking
Bobak, I did want to agree with you because if I was to replace anybody or put somebody else in the top 3 that deserves to be up there, and I didn't personally mention him, was Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, seriously, that's another guy. The thing with Daniel Day-Lewis is he's been choosy about, the
he
roles.
didn't do enough movies.
So he wasn't nominated as many times on my list, but almost every role he's ever done was Oscar nominated or nominated by me.
Yeah.
He has like 6 or 7 nominations, but that's about how many movies he's done in 20 years.
I loved him in 2 If by Sea.
He's in that one?
No, I'm sorry. He's in
That's Dennis Leary or something, right?
Forces of Nature with Sandra Bullock. Oh wait, that was Ben Affleck. Wait. I still want Daniel Day-Lewis to do a rom-com. He needs to do a fucking rom-com.
He has to do a farce.
He should do a rom-com where he's the older guy and he falls in love with Sydney Sweeney for whatever reason.
Oh no.
And Hugh Grant comes in and tries to
make
stop
him
it.
away downtown. Daniel Day-Lewis.
And he should start taking the roles from Jack Black, like playing Bowser and like doing voices for animated movies and like whatever that claptrap from Borderlands. He could take that role.
You know what, Ben? I'm so glad you brought up Sydney Sweeney. Because she is obviously
the best
talent of a generation.
She is two of the most talented actresses working today.
No
I
other
would
actress.
agree with that.
No other actress has
huge
overcome the
tracts of talent.
disability of drinking a half pint of paint.
I know you hate her, Scotty. I know we did.
With the white hot intensity of 1,000 suns.
Our very first Hump Day Happy Hour, which was previously called Thirsty Thursdays, is just me and you debating
about
Sydney Sweeney's talents.
I remember that. I was actually quite rude.
Huge talents.
Huge.
Just to throw more names at you that I have in front of me, Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
Nick
Dude, I forgot Michael Shannon.
I loved him in Twilight.
He kind of disappeared.
An amazing actor who doesn't get the credit because he doesn't put his face on screen. Andy Serkis.
Oh,
dude. But Michael Shannon.
I still have to see Andor.
Get Shelter.
That was the Take Shelter. That's what I was coming across on my list.
God damn, that's a powerhouse performance, man. And that movie is so fucking cool.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
There's nothing she's not good in. Yeah.
Well,
Jake Gyllenhaal. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal.
I had him on my list and I took him off because of Roadhouse.
Yeah, I mean, lately he's doing phoned in kind of stuff. He's always charming and entertaining, but the really interesting work he was doing about 10 years ago.
He was way more interesting 10 years ago. Now he just is working out and wants these weird action roles. And it's like, all right, dude, calm down.
Yeah, but John, I hate Donnie Darko.
I do like one of his roles that I like.
So just on a side note, I just Googled Sydney Sweeney and I wasn't even doing an image search, but it asked me if I wanted to turn off the safe search settings.
It's just boobs, right? It's just boobs.
That's all it was. Yeah. And she was fully clothed in every picture.
Probably have a virus now. Be careful.
Yeah.
Did it also take you to websites to Home Depot where you could buy paint to drink so that you could be as droopily eyed as that?
Yeah, he seems to think she's droopy for some reason.
I think she is mentally handicapped.
Droopy eyes. Yeah, but I mean, who's looking that high up?
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. Anybody have
20 years?
John,
I've had chicks saying my eyes are up here. And now when I look at a girl's eyes and be like, you're kind of special. And she's like, no, look at my tits.
Well,
Michael Shannon was definitely one of those I missed. Yeah.
I'm just throwing more names at you guys. Michael Keaton, Bradley Cooper.
Michael Keaton is better looking than Sydney Sweeney. Yes.
John, can I give you a hot take? Who won the Oscar in 2012? Daniel Day-Lewis
for actor or something, or actor.
Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln. My hot take is Bradley Cooper should have won for Silver Linings Playbook.
No.
I think Bradley Cooper in Silver Linings Playbook was better than Daniel Day-Lewis.
Did Jennifer Lawrence win that year?
She did. And Bradley Cooper was his character in Silver Linings Playbook was fucking so complex and interesting, and I love Daniel Day-Lewis, but he had already won, so I was like, give it to Bradley Cooper. Hot take, just saying.
No, it's not a bad take. It's debatable. It's an interesting.
But yeah, I actually didn't even nominate him, and I think I nominated Bradley Cooper on a number of movies over the years, but for that year, I had Joaquin Phoenix for The Master as my top pick, Denzel Washington for Flight, Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln, John Hawkes for The Sessions, and then I'm going to butcher the name, but the lead from Life of Pi, the Indian kid from Life of Pi. That was my top 5 best.
That wasn't Dev Patel, right?
No,
no, that was
Sharma. And honestly, when I nominate someone like that, who's never really been in a movie before that, his name's not well known, I'm always like, I hope this guy goes on to be a big star because I'm taking the risk here. Not like it matters, but I feel strongly enough to put them on this list and not a name like Bradley Cooper. And years later, I'm always like, oh, I love it when that person, like Sam Rockwell is a perfect example, where years later they finally get the Oscar nomination and they're now talked about in that way. And this was one of those actors that I remember being like, I hope this guy has a career out of this. And he doesn't. I mean, he probably does, but not one that anyone's talking about.
Life of Pi was beautiful. I love that movie. I loved it. And he was great in it. Dev Patel was from Slumdog. My bad.
Slumdog. And then he eventually, I think he's got maybe 2 Oscar nominations at this point, but he got one for Searching for Lions or something, that movie where he's like a lost kid and he tries to find
and that was with Nicole Kidman.
And he's really good in it. Michael Fassbender, he's another one that like he did some good work.
He was on my list.
He's kind of fallen off. Like wish he could be
kind of fallen off. I don't know why.
Better roles.
He made his money and he doesn't have to work as much. I've heard he's one of the
easiest guys to work with. Everybody loves him. Like he's a super English gentleman. I think he's just picky with his movies, but he picks some bad movies though, dude. Like didn't he do fucking like Assassin's Creed or some shit? Like
but that was a franchise thing.
Did you ever play that, Bobak? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know what? My ex-girlfriend played it. She loved it, and so when we broke up, I stole her Xbox. But anyway, no,
I wish we could have got one of 2 scenarios. I wish, even though I don't think we would have switched from Daniel Craig being Bond after only like 3 movies, I kind of wish 10, 15 years ago we would have got Michael Fassbender as Bond or Idris Elba. And by now we'd have at least 3 to 4 movies with that character, which would be fine. That's all you need as a Bond.
You know who we're going to get?
I think Fassbender was perfect in attitude and acting. He was too short.
He's too similar to Daniel Craig in the seriousness.
Guys, it's 2025. It's going to be Timothée Chalamet. You don't have
He's British though. He's American.
Or it's going to be Octavia Spencer.
It could be Octavia Spencer. We don't know.
I'm hoping it's either Nicholas Hoult or Aaron Taylor Johnson. Personally,
you know what? I'm still fingers crossed for Henry Cavill.
I think Henry Cavill would be a perfect
or Tom Hiddleston. I'm okay with Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah,
that'd be
Henry
good.
Cavill would be a perfect Roger Moore-esque. Like,
have you ever seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yes, and I love that. But I think he'd be the powerhouse Bond, but at the same time be able to deliver the quips the way that Roger Moore does, and have that kind of.
Hey, Scotty, since you mentioned Man from U.N.C.L.E., how about Armie Hammer as James Bond?
He would eat his enemies.
How about Steve Buscemi as James Bond?
No, he's a Q or an M. Let's Americanize the James Bond franchise
and pick all old people to play their roles.
All old people, because
I remember John.
The
when
kids
we were watching
today are into the old.
When me and John were watching Nosferatu, I turned to him and I go, "These 2 guys are in contention to be Bond."
Willem
I
Dafoe.
don't like either of them for
I thought you did.
Not for the role. I like them as actors in most things, but not for the role of Bond.
Nicholas Hoult has too much of a baby face.
Yeah, it's not right for Bond.
I think Aaron Taylor Johnson could pull it off.
I don't even like that he's going to be Lex Luthor, this Nicholas Hoult.
Oh, he looks great as Lex Luthor. Oh, by the way, we didn't even talk about those trailers I told you guys to watch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What's going on with those?
Well, now that John's here, we can't talk about him because he doesn't watch trailers. But what did you? Fantastic Four trailer.
Yeah, you can talk about it. I've seen them. I've seen both of the trailers.
Fantastic Four looks better to me than the Superman trailers. It looks very Fantastic Four. It looks very comic book Jack Kirby. I'm kind of all in on the Fantastic Four, even though Pedro Pascal is not.
I'm the opposite. I'm more jazzed about the Superman.
See, the Superman movie to me looks like it wants to be Man of Steel, and then it also wants to be something else. But I don't know.
I feel like I'm gonna see both.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
I feel like the Superman movie, I'm walking into something that I'm aware of James Gunn and Superman and all of these things, and I'm going to go in and I'm like, okay, let me like you, and then I'll decide. That's what I get the sense from the advertising of the new Superman movie. When it comes to the Fantastic Four movie, I saw the trailer and I was like, that looks like the Fantastic Four.
It does. It does. Yeah. And it's ballsy that they're going with those costumes. I was like, yeah, you know,
like there's less intellectualism going into Fantastic Four, whereas Superman seems much like there's a way to walk through it. But with Fantastic Four, it's just like, holy shit, that looks like what I want.
Yeah, it really does. It looks like what I want. It looks like, because remember the original Fantastic Four comics, it looked like the Jetsons. It looked like the fucking Jetson. This movie looked like the Jetsons.
Which one existed first? The Jetsons
Fantastic Four
or
Fantastic Four was one of the first comics ever. Yeah.
Well,
no,
or first Marvel comics ever. It was the first Marvel comic.
But was it the 60s when it?
60s.
It was like 61 when it came.
It was the 60s version of like what a future would look like, and that's what the movie's doing. Yeah,
but they both were kind of around the same time.
You know, I don't.
Superman didn't come out until
Superman
was 62. Fantastic Four
was it? Superman was definitely first as a comic. Yeah, it was like 50s or something. Yeah, because you had like your George Reeves fucking show and all that stuff. So.
Well, Superman.
The Fantastic Four, I think, was 61, and Jetsons was 62.
So
I'm not talking. I don't mean Jetsons.
TV series is 62 for the Jetsons. I'm looking.
Yeah, and I think Fantastic Four, the first issue was 61. I think.
Except for the old time
Fantastic
novels
Four
written
took
by
after the
H.G.
Jetsons. I was just saying that I was just saying that there's like a commonality in there.
Absolutely.
Fantastic Four. The first Fantastic Four is 1994.
No.
I know, I'm kidding. That's the first movie.
But Scotty,
that's my favorite Sue Storm.
Scotty, when they show the back of Galactus, I was like, okay, they're going all in. Like they're really making a Fantastic Four movie. They're not making it a fart cloud. It's like, you know, they're actually trying to make a real goofy, because you have to buy into Fantastic Four. It's goofy.
There was a lot of humor in the trailer. I mean, I didn't get a very serious tone from the trailer.
No, and it shouldn't be very serious. At least not up front. You know, at least not by the introduction of the characters. Johnny Storm is a funny guy. You know, Ben Grimm is a tragic guy, but funny. You know, I don't like the way Pedro Pascal is playing. You
don't get much of him in that trailer, but
he's trying to talk like a nerd. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? He's like,
because he is
dinner over here. It's like, dude, what the fuck is that?
I didn't. You know what? I think you're being stereotypically nerd about the situation. I thought it was actually as I talk like a nerd.
Well, I'm a nerd too.
Like, no, but the thing is that I thought it was Reed Richards being Reed Richards. He wasn't trying to be overt. He wasn't flexing. He was just like, we do this and this at this time. And again, like Sue Storm is Reed Richards' companion in
What's
Doctor
that guy's
Who
name?
terms.
What's that guy's name, Scotty? That Rupert something that played Reed Richards in the 2005 one.
Oh,
Bobak probably knows him because he was in John Adams. God, what the fuck is his name? Rupert
Ion Grafode.
What is it, John?
Oh, I actually no. Scotty just said it. Ian Grafode.
Oh, did I say Rupert?
Ian Grafode or something like that.
Yeah, that guy was actually perfect in that role.
No, he sucked. He played it a little panty waist.
No, I liked him. I thought he was great.
I like those movies. But I never thought he was a good Reed Richards.
And I thought Captain America, what's his name?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans was fucking awesome as Johnny Storm.
Hells yes. They brought him back for Deadpool 3 and everyone paid money.
Did I miss it, or did the Fantastic Four trailer not really show us Mr. Fantastic, whatever his name is?
No, he never did.
I don't think the effects are done. I don't think the effects are done. Yeah,
I don't
that's
either.
my guess.
Those are that is the hard one. Like in every movie they've done, that's like the hard one to get to not look stupid.
They really wanted to show you how good Thing looks and how good Johnny Storm looks on fire. But you could tell they did not have Mr. Fantastic's effects done yet because they didn't show him doing anything.
Yeah, they had a little invisibility, but
a little bit. Yeah.
And
also, by the way, if anybody from the Marvel special effects department is up late tonight dealing with crunch, thank you for your effort.
They are.
Dude, and dude, I can't believe the movie it's Herbie, right, Scotty?
Yeah.
It's Herbie. Dude, that's insane.
Is that the robot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because to be honest, I feel like people have made a big deal about Crypto or whatever, Astro, the dog.
Crypto.
Like, this is like Groot. Oh, this is it's like Baby Yoda. It's just a marketing thing, and it probably is. But as soon as that introed the Fantastic Four trailer, I'm like, oh look, they're doing the same thing. They need their little marketing toy that everybody wants to buy when this movie's out.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you this, John. The thing that has me most excited about the Superman movie is the fact that Crypto's in it. I can't fucking wait to see that dog in the movie.
Well, I heard there's like
it's going to have some crowd pleasing moments.
There's a special trailer that's supposed to come out on the Puppy Bowl, which obviously will probably feature in the Crypto.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Instead
We're
of
gonna
the
have
Super Bowl, they're buying
Airbud
time
7 trailer.
Well, I'm gonna go to a Superman movie for the same reason that I always go to a Superman movie, and that's to find out whether or not I think the new Lois Lane is hot.
I'm going for the score. That's what's got me hooked right now because
I think they got a great Lois Lane. The woman from the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel or whatever.
I've heard of it.
She's great. Yeah, I think that's a perfect pick. Yeah,
cool. She seems like she's a good fit.
Can't wait. Hopefully,
no one's gonna beat Terry Hatcher in my opinion, but
no, never.
Try, so.
Oh, you know what? Like every time I think of the original Superman, like the 1978 Superman, and I think of Margot Kidder, I just wish she was. Who played Marion Ravenwood?
That was Karen Allen.
Karen Allen. Yeah, I just wish she was. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Dude, Marion Ravenwood was basically Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Good call on that one, Scott.
Nothing can kill the grimace. All right, we're done here.
Nothing can kill the grimace.
You know, that's funny. We talk about so many great actors because they give diverse powerhouse performances that make us emotional, and we can't forget the characters they brought to life on screen. And none of us mentioned just the most classic action hero to ever grace the screen. Harrison Ford. Like, how many iconic roles did that guy put in that shaped our childhoods, every single one of us?
Yeah,
he's never been known for his like being this amazing,
like you said, John,
kind of actor.
He's Harrison Ford.
He's Harrison Ford. He'd be a good one for that. For us to separate out who are those great actors, but they don't put in those kind of roles that make you break your heart or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking earlier about bringing up Humphrey Bogart, who I think is a great actor because it's along those same lines. It's like you always expect him to be Rick Blaine, but he's not. Like, look at Sabrina or The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Like, there are differences. He's not just Sam Spade,
absolutely,
or Philip Marlowe. But that's the same thing that Harrison Ford does. Is like he was in a Sabrina, he was in Working Girl, Mosquito Coast.
Rick Blaine is basically every Harrison Ford performance.
Yeah,
it really is.
But I just think that they are personalities. But I think that a lot of people lose the subtleties or maybe the overt choices of their performances. And it's like, oh, look, it's Harrison Ford. He's trying to act.
No, he's a great dude. I mean,
I'm not knocking him. I'm saying that.
No. I'm agreeing with you, but it's like, what do you got? What would you guys say? Like, Witness, maybe his best.
He got an Oscar nomination for Witness, so he is an Oscar nominated actor. That was early in his career. I think after that nomination, he never got another one because I think people saw him fit that role that he didn't break out of too often. But the closest that he potentially would have come, and the nomination I've given him on my personal list, because I haven't made it to 83 where Witness came out, but I have done whatever year Regarding Henry, I think 92.
Where he tried to play a retarded guy.
Yeah, recovering from being shot in the head.
Shot in the head.
That movie is unintentional comedy.
Regarding Henry was a nomination on my list because he was.
If I can just sideline for a second, Ben, if you want to make a video of what if J.J. Abrams directed Regarding Henry, and then do the sabotage, it would be on the and that's when he gets shot.
Where he gets shot.
But it's it's funny because it was written by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it was.
No,
it was. Yeah,
it was what?
It was actually co-written by J.J. Abrams.
Okay, I was going to say you're reminding me that he has a connection to that movie, but you just brought it up. Okay, that's what it was.
Can't stand it.
Then you should do that. That would be funny.
Sorry, Regarding Henry to me is just like
what scene comedy. Would be the scene from Regarding Henry to come
when he gets shot, yo?
When he gets shot?
Can't stand it. I know you planned it.
If I could go back in time, I would tell Harrison Ford to take Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder's advice.
Let's go full retard.
Never go full retard.
Never go full retard.
He didn't.
No,
Sam walked away.
To me, it just didn't work, and that's probably just because I can't see Harrison Ford that way, and that's probably because he's not a character actor. He's Harrison Ford.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what we're pointing out here.
He's Han Solo. He's Indiana Jones, but
same character.
Yeah, but he's also great in the Patriot games and all that whole
for sure
movies.
Yeah.
And,
but he's just good at playing the hero. Like I mean,
I like him in What Lies Beneath quite a bit. That Zemeckis horror movie from 2000 where he's the bad guy. He's pretty good in that. He's pretty good.
Underrated. He's the Frisco Kid.
Oh my God, Frisco Kid, where he's basically Han Solo in that, but that movie is so goddamn funny, man. Him and Gene Wilder.
I got to see it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, why'd you say it then?
It's just one of those iconic names, you know. It's like
Frisco Kid is so great. Gene Wilder is this guy from Poland that travels to San Francisco to like marry a Polish girl, and then he ends up in all the shenanigans and he meets up with Harrison Ford, who is literally Han Solo. I don't know, John.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's
but I mean,
so
I've always
good.
heard of it. I've known of it since I was young, but
it is so good. I rewatch it at least once a year with a big stack of pancakes. I love it. It's a great movie. Check it out. It's really funny. It's really funny. But anyway, yeah. So do you guys want to wrap things up? Anybody got anybody? You know, I got two more actors I want to talk about. Probably the Mount Rushmore of actors, and that's Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. And I'll leave it at that.
I thought you were going to say Tom Green and then play one of those clips.
I do have a clip to play from a clip we talked about earlier. Let's see if I can find this. Yeah. Oh yeah. We got to do this one. Got to pause it real quick just so we don't get copyright. But this scene is so fucking good. He just because this is the first time in this movie that Ethan Hawke's character's like, wait, what? What's going on?
Hold on.
Catch up on the next one.
You out of here, John?
Yeah, I got to jump.
You don't want to finish the scene? All right. All right, brother. I'll talk to you later, man.
Too long. I got to jump. All right. Later, guys.
All right, John. Have a good night.
Bobak, do you want to hang for it or do you want to end?
Oh, dude, I gotta fucking pass out, bro.
Let's do it. We're done. Yeah. I'm ready.
It's over. You're still here?
You're still here. All right, you guys. Thanks so much, Bobak and Scotty, awesome. As always. We went a long time tonight, so I appreciate you guys' time, man. And check out Scotty on the Phantasmagorium show. There's no one watching right now, but that's
no one.
I'll put it in the chat.
Well, no, but also check out Anti-Derivative Jill. She does good stuff that I hang out with. And also, lately, I've been hanging out with Trev Retro. And he is a gentleman. And we've been talking about Star Trek. He's great.
All right, you guys. We drink your cinema. Yeah, boy.
What are you doing? I'm so high. Nothing can hurt me. No!